2018 is gone, 19 came fast. Pop the cherry on the year, fill your champagne glass. Time to celebrate, KKP is on 2-5. Year of the EP is over, it's time to see who thrived. Mumble rap and boom bap squared off head to head. Lots of beef got started, in no time it was dead. Cardi threw a shoe at Nicki, not on the head when she slid. Pusha T told the world Drizzy was hiding a kid. Tory Lanez told Joyner he's better, he thought he was slick. Then he went on Twitter and told Royce to suck his dick. 6ix9ine had a big year, now he doing a bid. And that ain't even half of what 2018 did. Moment of silence for X, pour some liquor for Mac. Kanye linked with Trump and went on a Twitter attack. He produced 7 albums and each had 7 tracks. Sounds impressive, but 6 of them were exceptionally whack. Got 4 projects from Styles, big shout out to Black. Wayne dropped Carter 5, but he could take that shit back. Cole dropped KOD and it didn't have no features. He went plat again and that there just intrigued us. A lot of shit happened, there's too many to name. It's been both a good and a bad year for the game. The new year's here and DMX coming home. We about to start the next 12 off on a good note.
Oh man, no, it was just funny, man. We can talk more about the mall if you want, but I think maybe we should introduce ourselves and
Not a bad idea.
start this podcast officially.
All right. Well, what's up, world? Welcome back to the Kiona and Kasson podcast. I'm your host, Adam. On the side of me, I got my brother, my co-host, Osama, and my boy, Dave, the other co-host. There's not like a co-host, one of the co-hosts too, so.
I don't know.
But anyways, happy January 1st, as you will be watching this
it is
on
January
New Year's.
1st. It's January 1st.
It's not January 1st, but by the time this is up,
Amazing.
it will be January 1st.
Amazing.
So,
Yep.
yeah.
So already.
Yeah. Hope everybody's a New Year's, because New Year's will be tomorrow or yesterday. When this comes out, right? So hopefully everybody's New Year's Eve was nice.
And a Happy New Year.
And a Happy New Year. You know, you got the day off work. Hopefully. If you don't, then that's,
I hope so. Yeah, and if you're working, hopefully you get a little bit of OT or
some holiday page or something like that.
Something, you know.
But yeah, so this is a special episode for multiple reasons.
Yep.
This is obviously the first podcast of the new year. It's number 25, which is nice.
Little milestone.
Quarter of the way to 100 on that.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's right.
And then it's going to be our music recap this particular episode.
Indeed. But is it a music recap or is it more along the lines of?
It's just like a top 5.
Our picks.
Yeah, our picks.
You're gonna get what we picked to be, the duds. And I think we're doing the top 5, right? Like they're doing the top 5.
Yeah, top 5 thing.
But we're not gonna recap every album.
No, absolutely not.
Fuck all that, right?
Hell no.
Too much came out, and a lot of it was shit, and I ain't trying to fuck with all, like, I got too much shit to worry about rather than, some fucking terrible music came out.
What's kind of fucked up is, like, I kind of feel like a hypocrite, not a hypocrite, but a phony doing this episode. And the reason why is because, like...
He's a big phony! I was trying not to. I literally tried not to do it.
But yeah, like, there's so much music that came out. And I can't give a proper diagnosis of how I feel about an album. Because, first of all, there's like 100 at least that came out, I feel like, And so many came out to the point that I don't even remember what dropped earlier in the year to a degree. And so I didn't give everything its fair shake. And so basically my lists are going to be based on replay value.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, because the ones you gave the fair shake are the ones that you found to be worthy.
Well, right. So I wanted to listen to it again when it was done, like, there wasn't a whole lot of them that struck me that way. This year there was quite a few tossaways, but...
yeah, most definitely.
There's some good ones that came out. We'll get into that. So before we start going into all that stuff, because that's basically like, you're gonna hear a lot of that soon. The last time y'all saw was on Christmas. Gentlemen, anything that stood out for your Christmases?
No, it was nice. We hung out. We were we were together.
Very short Christmas this year.
It was short. I will say that as you get older, Christmas is. I don't think it's the same. It may become the same when you have a child. But even then, I think it's even more stressful because now you feel like you have to provide some sort of experience. Whatever. I don't know. I can't speak to that. But Christmas becomes less and less of a thing, right? Like, and within the last few years, I feel like even time with like the extended family just becomes like, you know, we're together.
Yeah.
All right, now we're out. All right,
familiar with each other.
Yeah,
Right.
Mahalo, you know, another year later or some shit like that. But I mean, it is what it is. That's everybody got shit going on. You can't fault people for that. That's not a big deal.
Yeah.
But I will say that, like, I mean, in terms of like with the immediate family, it's always fun. Like, we always get together, we bullshit. You know, this year I was a little late. We didn't get to do the gift thing, but you know, I'll make up for that next year. But it was fun. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Good. You know, good Christmas.
We definitely usually have fun with it.
You know, Stax was having some things going on, but you know, with some medication, he's doing better. So, you know, that was a good thing for Christmas. So
Christmas present for sure.
Definitely. So shout out to Stax.
Shout out to Stax.
He just walked away.
Opposite shout out to Glenn.
Opposite shout
While
out.
we're on the
So
subject.
shout out to Glenn.
You know, for multiple reasons.
While
Again,
we're on the subject.
again, we're just at one of those phases where I haven't heard from him in like.
I believe he won't.
I heard from him on Christmas. He said, "Merry Christmas, bro," and I said, "Yo, Merry Christmas," and then that was it. So I don't
Honestly?
really.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I don't know if I really consider that context. So I'm just gonna go ahead and opposite shout out Glenn one more time for good measure.
Cool.
And
One more time for good measure.
and then we can move to you.
All right. So yeah, holidays are really good. My wife and I cooked a bunch. We always have Christmas at my brother's house, so he cooks, entertains, all that. I'm slowly getting him into beer, like craft beer.
Okay.
So I brought over some heavy hitters and see how like.
What does he like to drink?
Or
Or does he not drink so much?
No, he does. Yeah. He's more, cognac.
Okay.
Also, he likes making his own cocktails.
Okay.
Which always turn out perfect. Like,
Your brother's a good cook?
most definitely. Yeah.
So
So we had baked ham, which, I know y'all don't get down, but yeah.
I don't judge.
Right. So, yeah, but it was perfect. But like the thing with baked ham is, ever since we were young, ever since I can remember, Christmas, we always did a baked ham.
Yeah.
My grandma did it for like a good 10, 15 years, and my mom did it, and then my brother's doing it. So
they usually do it at without. Did they have one this year? No, somebody usually makes it that doesn't come anymore.
Not even. She usually just does like the sliced ham.
I've had ham. I don't like ham.
yeah, I mean, like if you make it the way that it's normally made, it's kind of lackluster.
Okay.
But if you spice it up a little bit, almost literally. Okay.
Like, you mean like hot? Like spicy hot?
Maybe no,
Or like with
just
spices?
add more spices.
Okay, okay.
Like Ralphie injects it, and all that with flavor.
I mean, it makes sense because like a bland chicken isn't great.
There you
You know,
go.
so.
Bland turkey on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Yeah, any unseasoned meat is pretty terrible.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
I guess
say.
So yeah, he did that, which, if we're kind of on the subject, his ham, he does Coca-Cola, onion, and bacon, like, saute almost, like that's like the juice that he pours over it.
Marinade type thing.
Sounds kind of fire.
Yeah. Yeah. But, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so everything was fire. Food was awesome. But it was just cool to hang out with my nephews.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say he has to know how to cook. He's been a father for the last 13 years. Like
Yeah, I mean, eventually I think you got to come up on some. You got to at least have. I think at least you got to have
simple abilities. You know?
5 meals you can cook, right?
Mhm.
Couple breakfasts, couple dinners, and probably a lunch,
Right.
just to like get by. Cause like
You're right.
there's those days where Dad got to be like, all right, fuck it, we cooking, and like even if it's hot dogs, but like
He
hot
knows
dogs,
how to make what he likes though. So he knows how to make what he likes.
Who, our dad? Yeah, my dad. Like that's definitely one thing. I have a taste for this, and he'll just be in the kitchen whipping some shit up, and be like, "A Friday, where my shit at?"
Oh, man. He's like, I wouldn't say I was cooking up for you.
Yo, I watched the so like when we were talking about it a lot, I watched it last week for the first time in a while, and that scene just stuck out to me when
So funny.
Craig's mom, she makes breakfast for herself,
She was in there. She was in there
like,
cooking
no,
up.
hold up, though. Yeah, right. And like they're talking, like chopping it up, and like Craig thinks like I'm about to get some breakfast.
Yeah,
so, like,
he was.
But then his father calls him in the bathroom, right? Like that was the whole break right there.
Yeah, he was like, he got the phone call, right?
Okay, so right.
No. He went to go and see his dad in the bathroom.
So
yeah, because he asked her, you ain't tell him, right? She's
it
like,
was
no.
either the bathroom or Craig throwing the trash out, but I'm not sure which one it was.
No, the trash out is that's where he came back from.
Yeah, when his dad first yelled at him, and then his mom was like, "Use some water. That's not gonna hurt you."
Yeah, the cereal. Yeah.
Well,
so
yo, I'd have been
he's
so
about to get
angry at my
right?
mom.
Like, she was making pork chops or whatever, like eggs and all that. You know, he's like, "Oh, I'm about to get down." You know, so whatever. And he sits down. He's like, "Well, where's mine at?" She's like, "Oh, this is for me." Like, and I was just like,
I would be
back in the
so
day when my mom
angry
was
if you don't give me
stuff.
some of that motherfucking.
She didn't just say this is for me. She said, "Eat some cereal."
Oh, so right, yeah. He's like, well, yep.
Like, come on.
But that just sent me back in the day.
We just ran through a whole scene of Friday.
Truly.
But no, like,
It's easy to do.
man, I'd be so angry if my mom did that shit. Like, what?
We can start a damn Friday.
Where are my
podcast.
eggs? How you
Not
gonna
that
make
that's like on some selfish, stuff from like my mom. But
No, she
like,
could cook, but I'm
some,
here
like,
too.
Yo, you're old as fuck. Like,
No.
you should cook for yourself.
I'm here too.
I just cook my whole meal. Like, cook your own. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
But I need food too, man. Like, what up? But
Like,
Craig was mad old.
well, so Craig was what, like 20-something?
No, because he was like 22 in the second one.
Oh, so he was like 18.
Yeah, he was like 18, 19. But still, man,
But still,
you can go get some food.
gee, my mom would
He
be
did
like,
just get fired.
but still,
But he went to go in to pick up his check.
but still,
Yeah, what the fuck?
That's what I wondered every time I watched it. But I was like,
He
maybe
didn't just get some money.
I was like, maybe because he got fired, they didn't give him his last check.
true.
Because it was for
He
stealing.
was stealing
too.
boxes.
Yo,
How many boxes did you
steal?
steal?
Box on his day off.
How many
On his day off.
So what the fuck you stealing boxes?
Yo.
That just shows how gullible you are.
How many
Like,
boxes would you have to have stolen? Like, that's...
Well, then it's funny because Red does say later on, he's like, we was watching it over and over. He's like, it kind of looked like you from behind, but I couldn't really tell.
Right.
He did get fired for no reason. That
yeah,
was
probably.
bullshit.
On his day off too.
I didn't see no boxes the whole movie.
How the
It'd be
fuck
funny
you
if
get
they
fired on your day off?
They should have cut like the actual.
Well, one of us got to reel it. One of
Yeah.
us got to reel it in. We
Oh, yeah, my fault. Okay,
Excuse me. One of us got to reel this shit in. We
Sorry
got
guys,
that
but
shit
Friday
to
was
type
like
in.
Oh,
so,
man.
if you
That was
haven't
the
seen
whole
it,
thing just now. Okay.
Yo,
Reel it in. All right.
So,
get lost in Friday.
okay. So, anyway, I was hanging out with my nephews and whatnot. That was awesome. Just chopping it up. My nephew's going into high school next year. The youngest, he's been going to Second City for acting classes. Not actual acting classes, but just kind of like going there, just kind of like watch, just observe, because he wants to be an actor.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Still dope.
Yeah.
Second
both-
City, Vivi did all 4 of the improv levels there.
Oh, well, that's amazing.
Yeah.
No, seriously though, that's
She's done actual like at the end they do like performances and shit like on stage.
You're right.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Right.
They're both pretty inspired kids. Like,
I'd say so.
Yeah.
I'd say so. Based on
And that's
what you
all on
told
their
us.
own too. Like
Yeah.
they kind of just have this imagination, you know.
That's awesome. That's how all the kids should
Which
be.
imagination breeds, I mean, just like knowing your future and like like making a path for yourself
yeah.
in a way at a young age.
Yes, sir.
To kind of be like, I want this, and like they're just navigating themselves to get that now, at 5 years old or whatever it is. So yeah.
Man, awesome.
Yep.
More power to them.
Absolutely.
You know.
So yeah, those kids are great. They're doing really big things in life. Ralphie's good. My brother, Ralphie, and his wife. They're great.
Yeah. Shout out to all of them.
Yeah, Crystal's mom came in, and Crystal's older brother. Crystal's my sister-in-law. But yeah, we all just kind of hung out for like 2 days, and
Nice.
it was just good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was a good time.
Yeah.
And I always appreciate the extended weekend. So.
Hell yeah, couple days off. Go with it.
Yeah, I was surprised by it too because I worked Christmas Eve from 7 a.m. to like 6 p.m., 6:30 p.m.
Yeah.
And usually, in past years, we stayed until about 8 or 9 cleaning. So
Yeah. A little bit earlier than usual. That's definitely nice.
Yeah,
For sure.
good. So yeah, work was really good, easy. I thought it was gonna be hectic, and it wasn't. We all kind of held it together.
Yeah.
That's dope.
So yeah, everything was good.
Good
Very
shit.
nice. Very nice.
Yeah.
Adam? I
mean, yeah, you were there,
but
but
recapped it.
it
Anything
was
special?
decent, man. Nothing crazy.
What's- Anything special?
It was better than my birthday weekend. I was a lot less sick, so that was good. I got mad gift cards for shoes, which is always something I'm, especially for this purpose, it's always nice to have some new ones to just show off. But, that's it, man. Really, just family time. Ate well, so it was a merry enough Christmas.
For sure.
I don't want to go too heavy into things like that because I do want to also try to keep in mind the people who aren't fortunate enough to have like a material kind of Christmas,
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean,
And I got some cool ass shit. No, I'm just.
I'm not trying to talk about all that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Adam got me a Stretch Armstrong.
Wait, but like the actual Stretch Armstrong though.
Like a
It's
Stretch
the
Armstrong?
original Stretch Armstrong. Yes.
Y'all remember when Tommy first had one on the block?
No.
All I remember
It was
is
the first one to have that shit on the block.
I had one when I was younger, but I got it on Christmas Eve, and I left it at my aunt's house. And then one of my cousins who lives in Germany broke it, and then left that morning. Christmas night, and then he left the day after Christmas. And when I went there later, he had been already gone. But what I didn't know is he broke my motherfucking Stretch Armstrong. Huh?
That is messed up.
I'd say so. I didn't even get to play with that shit, yo.
that shit didn't make it 12 hours.
That is a horrible memory.
I didn't even get to fucking
That's
play with it.
scarring.
So now there's one intact.
I have no memories of a Stretch Armstrong because the only memory I have is the one of it being broken by somebody that honestly I've met I think once.
Yeah.
So
pretty angry about it.
It's pretty fucked up.
The significance.
He dipped to Germany after he broke my fucking Stretch
That's
Armstrong.
messed up. That is.
I wouldn't kill him. Just be angry about it. You
Then
can
you're
come
just
back.
like, well, where are you? Like in the world.
He was like, they're
This is the only grudge to this day that I know Sam holds, and it's been like 17 years probably.
That's a strong.
No, it's been more than
Maybe more than
17 years, dude. I had to be under. I was younger than 10 for sure.
That's pretty fucked up. It's been like 25 years.
I'm sure I have another grudge somewhere
Strong.
or a gripe to pick with somebody, but no, that right there.
You know what grinds my gears?
That grinds my
You
motherfucking
will
Yo, that grinds my motherfucking gears. He just dipped. They didn't even
I
like.
said it though.
They didn't
In
even leave.
context.
They didn't even leave cash.
There's only one other one I know
You
of.
could have left a dub. And back in the day, it was hard to get those fucking things because everything was sold out.
You didn't get
Basically,
nothing.
broke my. He played, broke, and dipped.
That's what it was.
There's one other grudge I know you're keeping. It's from the other side of the family. After I think it was Waleed.
Oh, I don't hold that anymore. But like, yeah, Waleed threw a. I remember we were at one of our cousins' house, and I was laying on the floor watching them play video games. And back in the day when toys were built like steel and quality and heavy,
Yeah.
he was young and like a little
Tonka
shithead back in the day.
trucks.
He threw a fucking like Tonka fucking
See?
fire truck on
Right.
top of my. I was like this,
No. Dude,
Oh!
That kills.
dude. Matter of fact, it was I think this ear,
This man.
right, which makes sense because I mean like this ear I know be having some issues because of like not only that all the fucking sounds I had in cars and shit.
Wow.
Like,
Your hearing is just not in a good way because of this.
yo, I
it
passed
could
my
be-
hearing test at work.
It could be in a bad way because of this. So this is what I
Yo,
really should say.
Yeah, but I don't. That's not more of a grudge. That's just one of those. I hated that shit so much. I was so angry. But no, that motherfucker broke my Stretch Armstrong and left to Germany.
Yeah.
You went to Germany, dog? Germany? I can't even call you because back in the day I had to go get a calling card. Like there's no way for me to communicate how angry I am at you. You broke my shit.
Especially when like you have a zip code plus like a zero, like a plus 073 before like
800 numbers.
No, zip. Wait, area code
800
right there.
number. You have to the calling card was like, please enter serial number. Please enter
Yeah, right.
the card number. Please enter your telephone number. Please enter the country
Dude, it took you
code.
45 minutes to make the phone call.
Dude, all I had was 20 minutes. By the end of the fucking entering, I couldn't even talk. It was just
Yeah,
done.
it's fucked up. They counted that against you. Like, wait a second. It took you about 4 minutes to give me that information.
Dude, a 5-minute calling card gave you 36 seconds of talk. You'd be like, yo, I it took so long. I hope you're doing good. Hello?
Dude, that's fucked up.
For real. Yeah, that was not good.
You gotta go buy another $5 calling card. Yo, bye.
I'll say
Also,
hi
what I
in a
had to
few minutes.
say, like,
I'll say hi in a few days with this card, but that's all you
Why
can
don't you just buy a $10 card? Be like, oh, shit.
messed up.
No, it was, dude, I remember because it was just a short, when you guys went to Jordan in like 2005-ish,
2006.
2006, I remember calling them with the call.
I'm just gonna.
Oh yeah, that's true. Start this shit. All right, that's another story for another time, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's go ahead and reel
Yeah,
this
so
shit
I
back
always
in.
know-
Sorry, guys.
I always know when it comes to Christmas, you can't go wrong with like a sentimental, like nostalgic gift. For
Yeah,
him,
yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
like
no, I
the
get
shit
that.
that brings them
That's
back.
what I like. I don't really need too much expensive shit, but like I like nostalgic
The
shit.
problem with that shit is it's hard to find.
Yeah, but you know,
But-
dude,
True.
you know,
It is what it is.
it's not. At
So-
least it don't be expensive. You
Yeah.
know.
So where do you guys want to start with this?
I say we start with, let's start with the albums we didn't like this year.
I like that.
Yeah,
I
'cause
like that.
yeah, you know what? That's good.
So I
Top
have a
five
small
is
list.
I don't
top
even.
five is like a finale.
So
Good finale.
yeah, top
Yeah,
five
yeah.
should be the finale and probably how we end it. But let's go ahead and start with like
So the bottom five or bottom. I don't know. I started bottom five.
start.
In
Okay,
no particular
so
order.
go ahead and run through your list.
Okay,
We'll see
so
where ours.
This is no particular order because honestly, there's just so many good and bad albums this year. It's really like
Yeah, but there were a lot of albums in between that I don't even remember came out.
Yeah.
All that Kanye release shit. The only thing I listened to was
All that slow as shit.
dude,
was bad.
hang on, that's another gripe that I have with this year. Like for this being our first like album special, call it that. You know, we're also this is the first year that's like there's more EPs than albums almost, and like is EP considered an album? And so
I think now
I had a hard time
you just gotta put them together.
well, I had a hard time
Unless
trying to
they're
figure
like
out.
those 3-track joints.
Yeah.
That's like a whole. That's like you just gave me like a single. You remember back in the day the singles
Single,
come?
the remix radio.
Yeah,
For
that's what you gave
$5.99?
me.
Yeah.
That's all you gave me.
Yeah,
Which
for
was
sure.
dope. I remember we had that Mo Money Mo Problems joint with that was a cool ass little cover.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Shit, though.
And the CD was just a whole bunch of dollars. That shit was cool.
Hell yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah, I do.
I mean, it was yours.
No, I mean, but like I just
That was a paper cover, right?
huh? Yeah, it was like a real thin cover,
Yeah.
Oh, right.
but it was a
Sure.
dope little
Yeah,
yeah.
sure.
But yeah, so I had a hard time trying to decide if I should put the EPs with the LPs and just lump them all together, and that's what I ended up doing.
Lumping them all
But,
together.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you have no other choice at this point.
Because some of the EPs are better than some of the LPs, you know.
Which is weird.
It
You know,
is.
but they're being. I feel like those are becoming more. It's becoming more concise.
Yeah.
You know, like 9 tracks, they're gonna be bangers, and that's cool with me as long as they're all bangers.
Well, a lot of people miss that mark.
We're gonna talk about. We talked earlier about the difference between like the Fetty and.
No, right.
Yeah, we'll talk a little bit more about it, but go ahead.
All right, so this bottom five is in no particular order, right? First thing that came to mind today was Everything's Corrupt. Ice Cube. I'm sorry, but
Ooh.
Oh, I didn't even listen
listen,
because I don't want to
No,
take my
you-
ears.
Man, you should have though.
No, because you told me it was so terrible.
It's bad.
I don't want to. I don't want
wanna
to taint
get-
my ears with bad Ice Cube.
that's the thing. I don't want people to assault me for saying that this Ice Cube album was
I
bad.
think
but,
it was a
This
general-
album was bad.
So-
and try to assault me. Fuck you.
So,
I think this was a general consensus.
damn.
I think this was a general consensus.
Oh,
Yeah, it was just not good.
yeah, no,
And then I put Tekashi on there.
of course.
I didn't listen to that.
I listened to it.
I did.
There's only one song I like from him, and I forgot what it is, but it's like I don't remember what it's called. Anyway, so and then Yay I put on there.
That was a hard
Yeah.
It's
listen.
a bad album.
Yeah, I didn't
That was
listen
a
to
hard
either.
listen.
It was.
I just avoided shit I knew I was gonna hate.
I didn't have that initial, hate. I just, yeah, you know, I was just like, let me just listen to it. But I just ended up.
Oh, and I just also didn't want to support him this year.
I hear you.
I get that.
You know, Kanye was too calculated in his erratic behavior this year,
Yeah.
which is crazy because erratic and calculated would mean that doesn't those don't mix.
No.
But with Kanye, I believe it does. He is a very calculated person at how erratic he behaves in certain times.
Oh yeah, for sure. And he just, I don't know. He's another like Donald Trump type in the sense of his Twitter world, where he just cannot fucking lay off and he'll tweet every 30 seconds.
Fires off.
And I'm like, dude, just chill. It's not
and that's why I'm like, you know what? I don't even want to fucking. I'm not gonna support. Like I said, the only thing I listened to was Daytona out that whole run. I mean, I listened to some Kiona because Tiana's like, she gets a lot of airplay.
I, as well as her, were hoping for much better than that.
Yeah.
But it is what it is.
Pulling up in that new toy.
There's a couple people I know who are already gonna just fucking in person who are gonna talk shit because of this particular thing. So Sammy and Jeremy, fuck you. But Kamikaze is on this.
Such a terrible album.
You know what? I put this list together
I'm glad
in a lot of ways.
I forgot about that.
In a lot of ways where these motherfuckers.
Bad, yo.
When these albums are super disappointing, these are the ones that I put on this list. Like, I expected a lot more from you. You did not anywhere near deliver. You're making up my bottom 5 list now. So you're not gonna see like Travis Scott's album and any fucking Quavo albums or anything like that listed here because I don't really care about that.
Don't ask me about none of that.
To me, it's not the same genre, in a way. I know it's ignorant view.
Sicko Mode goes pretty hard.
Sicko Mode is a good song, and I tried to listen to Travis Scott's album.
I did too.
It's
like
just
after
not.
you
It's
hear
not for me.
Sicko Mode for a little bit, I was like, I want to listen to this album now.
It's just not for me.
Nope.
No.
I think I also believe that
It just wasn't cohesive for me.
Yeah.
As a concept album, no.
And quick disclaimer: Drake is also nowhere near on this list. He's
No.
he's one that like I could listen to the album, but it's not anything special.
Nope. I
So.
agree.
And then the last one.
My man's got like a lot of.
No, I just got some. I just got some shit written down because I don't want to.
just lame albums that you're just writing down right now. Like,
Lame albums.
Fire
My
off,
list.
like-
My list about to be fucking
He's like,
fire,
I
yo.
got 15.
Dude, there's
Fire.
the number 5 on this list is T Grizzly, Activated. I didn't
That
like that
was
album.
that was real bad.
People are like, he's a trash ass rapper to me.
He is.
It doesn't sound good. I don't like it.
No.
And I don't understand why people are like, ooh, T Grizzly. No.
There are other cats that deserve to be on the same level.
Yep.
He's a
Like, I personally know people who should be on before his ass.
truly.
There's a couple of honorable mentions here I want to mention real fast. And this is of the bottom 5. Again.
How you gonna be an honorable mention of a bottom fucking 5?
Again,
terrible.
because of the way it
That you weren't even good enough to be in the list of the bottom 5. That means they're worse.
Right.
You made the motherfuckers even worse than the bottom 5.
Right.
Here's the bottom 5, but here's the people who couldn't even make that shit.
You know what? Because it's disappointing.
I got 2 you didn't mention yet.
So Nasir, I put on there.
That's it. Okay.
If
I
it
get
wasn't
that.
for
No, you're right.
If it wasn't for Cop Shot the
Cop Shot
Kid,
the
I
Kid.
wouldn't care for that album at all.
I hear
And
you.
it's just majorly disappointing.
Yep.
You would think
Nas and Ye.
if-
Like, it was about to be crazy.
Right.
Like, they're about to just go off. Like,
this is what I would think.
didn't happen.
No.
Did not happen.
And then the Carter 5. Another disappointing album
that
after
was.
waiting so long.
That was. Good
Yeah.
mention.
And it's just, no, I can't listen to it very much. It doesn't have.
I'm not gonna say it was terrible. I'm gonna say that it was definitely outdated.
There was enjoyable tracks on there, but for as long as
It was
it
dated.
didn't-
Like, it seemed like it was created in 2013, 2012, maybe.
You know why?
Like
Because
that Wayne.
Because Carter 3 Wayne was like the epitome of his like
I'd
appeal
agree.
in
No,
music
I'd
career,
agree.
right?
No, I'd agree. That was
So-
where his creative pinnacle occurred. Like, and that was it. Like, now he's.
Yeah.
Well, it was Carter and Dedication.
Like
yeah,
Carter-
but
the
the
whole
dedications
series-
were the
whole
dedications
series
I think were like right before the
Those
Carter
were
3.
all, like, mixtape.
Yeah.
Great, they were great, but like right after that
like Carter
sequence
4.
of things, it just started to like dwindle.
Carter 4 was terrible to me. Like that
Yeah, and, like-
barely has any songs that I enjoy.
I hear you.
And so I thought like, okay, he has all this extra time now. Carter 5 should be, well rounded at this point. I know he had like his couple health crisis in the middle.
Right.
He should come back with some shit to talk about. it just wasn't there for me.
Yeah.
So yeah, that'll be my bottom list.
Really? Oh, so you didn't even... Okay, so, all right. If you don't mind, I'm just going to go ahead and... I got two very honorable, or well, dishonorable mentions, actually, because we're talking about whack-ass albums.
Right.
I got Blueface.
Oh, yeah.
The Famous Crib.
I didn't listen to that, full disclosure, I haven't listened to the whole album. I've only listened to like the 4 or 5 songs. Okay. And, yeah, that's why I ended there. But. So,
Famous Crib. That might be the worst album of the year. And
I don't know, man.
I got that Baby and
Jacquees.
Man,
Let's talk about Jacquees for a second.
That was just flop.
There's a petition for him to stop.
Yeah.
Fucking doing covers.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are behind it.
So many.
And I also am behind it.
I'm gonna say you got 3 right here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna speak for Sam.
I don't like him to do covers.
And just say,
but get Jacquees the fuck out of here.
Get him out.
I don't like him doing covers, but I like his other music.
So right, like he can make some good music, but if you're teaming up with Baby on a whole duo thing,
Well, he's.
But Baby is also
he's
doo-doo.
of course, I get that.
And Baby's gonna make him do it.
Make something good though.
Baby is.
There
awesome.
are some
sounded
good.
like
There are some good
That
tracks on
sounded
there.
like what you are saying. Like, yo, I am the owner of this label, and you got to make this album.
The songs with Baby on it are terrible, but
That's the
other
worst
ones
thing
are
you
not.
can do is put Baby on your album.
Bad,
But the ones without Baby on it, there are some heaters on there.
Baby is doo-doo.
Okay, I'm gonna say they got 3, maybe 4 songs that are heaters.
I'd give it 5.
There's a few songs on there that I
I'd
enjoy.
give it 5.
But I'm just saying, man, Baby is not the person you want. Like those Priceless albums were terrible with fucking.
Get out of here, yo.
Like there's some songs on there I really fucking enjoy.
No,
but the ones with Baby on here,
as a
like
whole.
who said it with him fucking clapping and rubbing his hands together?
What's that about though?
Get his hand rubbed on.
What's that about though?
Get the fuck out of here. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Don't do that shit.
No, I agree.
But
Jacquees should not cover shit. He should really shut his mouth and humble himself.
Yeah.
But I do think that his music that he does originally, like his original music, there are some really good songs and good music.
I get
he
that.
can sing for
I
sure.
get that.
But like,
Yeah.
I just some of the songs.
And I saw.
You can never
who's the-
deny that someone can sing.
Yeah,
Because like you know it.
Right.
Like, you hear it.
Who's the girl that commented on the last?
Oh, Maisha?
Yeah, she works with you.
Mhm.
She said, what did she say? Something about she would take. I agree with her. I don't remember the artist. But I agree with her. What's her name? Maisha. Maisha. I agree with you. I think that Jacquees has some talent. I don't remember the artist. I think he's gonna look it up right now.
Oh, she would take the Dream over Jacquees.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
That's me too.
Yeah, I think
would
because
definitely
he's.
agree with that.
Yeah, definitely. 100%. I would not argue that at all. But I will say that Jacquees has a lot of talent, and if he would shut up and just do his thing, he will probably come out in a different light.
Yeah, I think he can.
And I think there should never be a Baby collab with him. It should be his own album. It's only original music.
You know what I'm saying? Collab with like Jay Holiday.
Right.
What the fuck? Yo,
I'm not agreeing with you. That is sarcastic.
that was
Right.
why of all people Jay Holiday?
Right.
Listen,
Maybe Lloyd?
what was that?
Well, okay, hold up, and then you said Lloyd.
I like Lloyd.
Can't say
I like
Lloyd.
Lloyd actually, but
I do too. But
There's
they're
not very
relevant,
many.
right?
There's
Listen,
not very many
how
R&B
the fuck
collabs.
is
they don't need to do a
Holiday
collab. He
relevant
just
right
needs
now?
to do his own
I
album.
am mad and offended at you right now, or with you.
Mad
mad
and offended.
I am
Listen,
mad at
Jay
you,
Holiday
and I'm
had
offended by you.
he had one good album, and that was it.
Who?
Jay Holiday.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's
So-
not a name anymore. I'm just hurt.
Yeah, but it is.
So what? Jacquees shouldn't be a name right now.
You should not.
So I think we're on the same level.
Yep. I was shaking
Real
on that.
fast. I want to wrap back around to last week. We were talking about Robert Kelly
man.
last week,
Gee.
and he's the king.
Now they got that.
He's the
guy.
fucking king. R&B. His nasty motherfucking ass is the king.
Yeah, you just came to that conclusion.
I was thinking about it obviously throughout the week.
Oh,
so
you thought about
I
R.
come
Kelly
back
during
around
the
to-
week? You a nasty
Okay.
motherfucker.
I thought about our
We
conversation.
don't want to go there with it.
What's your pause that?
We don't want to go there with it.
You know what I'm saying? He's
That
he's into-
motherfucker ain't even occurred in my head for the
Listen,
last
he's
7
into
days.
minor
Not
women.
even,
Not,
no.
No, hey, there is a documentary going to Netflix called Surviving Robert or some shit like that.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, and
Oh,
apparently it's not gonna be pretty.
Oh, that's bad.
But he's still selling out shows. Over
Somehow,
He is
some
not-
way,
he is not going to.
R. Kelly.
After that, that's gonna be huge.
you're gonna look up and he's gonna have disappeared with all of his money.
There you go. Right.
People
People
can still-
R. Kelly.
Did you get your
I
shots?
still don't know why.
What
Did
is
you
that?
get your passport?
Yo, what
That's
is
a fucking
that?
Weird ass.
What
Do
is
you
that?
want to come back to America?
That was some
with
precursor. That is a precursor right there.
That's some weird ass fucking. Listen.
That's
Yo.
a precursor right there.
He was asking, yo,
He was
if
actually
you got your shots
right, exactly,
and your passport, we gonna dip
That
because
was-
they gonna get me and you're gonna be my
that
person.
was the most
Some
sincere
foreshadowing.
plea. The most sincere plea.
Yo, everybody was like, yeah, and he was
He's
like,
like,
why
no,
is everybody cheering?
not you.
This is a question I'm asking. It's a serious question.
He's like, "Clever help."
Do not chant or cheer for this.
I have to
No.
sing or they get me.
Right.
Why is he not in jail?
Do you hear my tone right now? Like,
Did you get your shots?
yo.
Anyway, but yeah, so that's the point I want to make.
Did you get
I can't think of anybody else.
we're gone.
You want
because
to
everybody.
come
Cause we're gone.
back to
You got one and
America
two. We're gone.
with Rob.
We're outta here.
Yo, I was off key, but he was off key.
He was off
and
key.
Robert Kelly shouldn't be off key.
That's true. Which means he was.
Did
shook.
Robert Kelly get his
Which
shots?
means he was shook.
Yeah,
He
he
was
was
shook.
super asking a real question.
Which also means that what we're talking about was real as fuck. Because he was just like I'm on some real shit. Like
Did
are
you
ready
get
right
your
now?
shots?
Are you ready, chick? Because it's about to go
But
down.
I'm saying, like, right now, we're not gonna finish this show.
Did you
Yeah.
get your shots?
He had four little bitties. He had four little bitties in the room before that, and he's like, I don't know which one is who, and like, I gotta go on stage.
Like, how many tetanus shots?
Yo,
have
R.
you had?
Kelly is
Which one of y'all got your
yo,
shots?
he is a sick
I
motherfucker.
think
He's a nasty
so.
man.
I think so.
But he's the king of R&B.
He is.
He's like Harvey
Okay,
Weinstein
let me ask you real
times
fast.
10.
Is Ron Isley R&B or is he soul?
So.
Okay, so then yes.
What the
R.
hell
Kelly.
is going on between the
And
sheets
that's
in my
one
home?
of my favorite artists.
Hold up though. And
Baby,
I'm
wait.
sorry.
Let me explain
I might
before you
catch-
start to point your cane.
I might
I'm
catch.
about to-
I might catch a lot of flack for this.
Oh, it's about to be some shit.
He was a little off on the vocals though.
How did I get into this? Should have never came on with this
Ooh,
bitch.
okay.
No.
Isley?
All Isley.
In that song,
Gee.
I'd have to go back, but I don't know.
With that, what the hell's going on between my sheets or whatever it
You
is?
low down dirty woman.
Back to
Where you go?
Yo, listen back,
Baby,
though.
wait. Yo, that was
It
my
wasn't
shit.
just
Yo,
like,
yo,
pristine. It
The
was just
video.
like, oh, there's some chop there. Like,
Yeah.
I don't care even. The video sequence in that made me not even think
Oh,
about
and
that.
like,
Because the way R. Kelly
video.
popped up, he was like, oh, it's
The
about to
videos.
be some shit.
gee, I watched 1 through maybe 3 because that's where I just was like, I'm done with
Yeah,
this.
alright, Mr. Biggs.
There's like
Now you do know who I am. I ain't
1
familiar.
through 30. Like, there's just an extensive.
Yo.
It's like
Mr.
a thing. Like, so you know,
Now,
for,
Mr. Biggs, before you're done.
for those
Wait,
of
how
us,
you know my
for those,
name,
how you know my name, son? Like,
Back
that
when I
shit
was
right
going
there.
to tell you. Yeah.
Oh, you know,
Yo, alright.
But, all right.
So,
we're done.
are you done with your worst of the
Oh,
year?
so right, so Blueface, Famous Crip, horrible album.
Right.
On
On the Deadlokes.
the Deadlokes though.
Woo!
Tatiana.
Hey, that's the only reason why I wouldn't put him on my bottom, because he gave me on Deadlocks to just ride with all day long.
That's gonna be like that's for sure.
That's that shit right there. Though.
And then what was the other one?
Oh,
So
Lord.
right, Jacquees Baby.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's the only two.
Those are the wackest albums of the year right there.
There's
Alright,
other
I've
shit.
got a few.
Like, I was gonna put fucking what's his name, Chief Keef on there, but I figured
I
why?
thought about that
You
too.
already know.
No, so
Exactly.
listen,
People-
I'm not even
the
like
real heads,
fucking
they
with
just
this cat.
yeah.
I don't listen to him. I understand he has a market for some. That's
get
not
that.
me, and I just say fuck it. You know, that's kind of like my
But
that's
that's
how
all
my
it is.
listen too much. So I don't really care to like. I know that there's the artists that I don't want to listen to have markets or demographics that they go towards, and that's fine by me. I don't even like really concern myself with their music. Like it's cool that it exists. There's a market for it.
But
whatever.
it's still part of the genre technically, and so
Yeah, but like that doesn't mean, dude. It
it's
doesn't.
officially 2018.
Think about it.
pop
Okay,
release.
okay. Think about it this way. Think about it this way. Of all back in the day, right? You had the mainstream, right, which was what you were exposed to,
Yeah.
right? But there was so much underground, but it was never really exposed or accessible.
I get that.
But
Right
not underground.
now, what's happening is those underground folks are also accessible, and underground is not the same as it once was. It has a different meaning than it used to.
But
So
it
underground
depends.
doesn't necessarily mean underground rapper, underground like you know what I mean. Like they just kind of like under the radar. Underground to me just means that like there's so many different subgenres nowadays that it doesn't really even matter. So I can't concern myself with everybody because there's enough good quality music already.
But
that
then,
I would,
so what
I
you-
want to
what
concern
you would
myself
call
with.
that
And
basically
if
is like-
we talk about all the time about absorbing music.
What you would
I'm gonna
basically-
spend my time on the music I want to absorb.
Basically, what you're talking about is that you have like these particular artists have like a cult following, right? So then, could you say the same thing?
Would you
for
consider
the
that?
Beehive,
Would you
for the
consider that a
Barbs,
cult?
for
No,
whatever, like-
not those, not those.
I hear you.
Because
the,
they're big.
the smaller, the more. No, because in rap there's just so many lesser known artists,
But
but
not
they're
anymore,
not
though.
lesser known to a whole large group of people.
So yeah, I mean, these people nowadays have like niche audiences,
Yeah.
but they're still really big. They're massive audiences.
That's fine, but it's like it's not music for me, right? I know that they're making it because there's a certain like a drug culture, a fucking a real high energy culture, but I can't listen to all of that because, to be honest, I'd be a waste of my time.
Well, there's a fine line there then.
I'm not
So-
a rap. I wouldn't consider myself a critic in music in which I'm here to listen to every album that ever came out there in a year. I consider myself a hip hop purist that wants to, listen to the music that satisfies and checks all the boxes I'm looking for. Right? If you're not checking these boxes, then I gotta push you to the side because now there's other music coming in
I get
constantly every Friday.
I hear you, but we've discussed this before, and that's basically like
Are you arguing before we go? Are you arguing that I should be concerning myself with those music for the sake of this podcast?
because previously, so no, not even for that. But we've had previous discussions where we're talking about like.
It's not that I won't.
Otherwise,
I
so
won't
basically putting
taste
those
it.
in a different genre category altogether. Then
No.
and it's just.
It's a different taste of rap.
But-
like I'll actually dip in. I'll listen. Like I'll give it a shot.
Right.
But like
I mean, so it's
for the
different.
most part, I can't like after one song. Usually, I'm like, all right, I know this isn't my type of artist.
It's different if it's like an artist that you like historically don't like any of their music, so you skip the album altogether. Like whatever, I have those. That's why I didn't even bother mentioning them. Right.
That's what's
But-
happening. Yeah.
But if they're like this particular taste in music, there's people who can surprise you and end up
When it
dropping an
comes to
album that you're
when
like,
it
oh,
comes
shit.
to new music, I'm more receptive to R&B than I am to rap.
R&B doesn't have as many subgenres. I feel like that's why.
That's fine, but I'm more
But
receptive to a
hip-hop
newer
collective-
artist. I'm more receptive to a newer artist when it comes to an R&B act than it would be to a hip hop act. I'll give that hip hop act an opportunity, but usually it's never going to be anything more than me just trying to give them a shot. Because for the most part, I can't. Rap is one of those things that,
I can get that though.
I think that's a luxury we have now.
regardless
didn't
of
have
whether or
before.
not we have the luxury now, we have the luxury.
It's a luxury now that we have that
It's
we didn't have
maybe
before.
more so now than before.
Because
we
all you,
always
have to
had
do,
that.
all you have to do is be assigned to some kind of streaming service, and you can go to this artist and listen to
I get
one,
that.
two of their songs.
I
Back
get
then, you had to buy the album, or you had to like, you wouldn't have like YouTube.
That's
as
fine
accessible.
though, but
We had all shit.
that's fine because that allows us to weed out what we don't want to listen to.
There you go.
That's fine, but so
For a flat $10 rate, $11 rate a month.
So then I guess what we should have discussed before we did this: are we doing a hip hop collective, or are we doing like? So I mean, I guess
No, it's hip hop. It's all under hip hop. So what you consider we all love hip hop, but we all love certain parts of hip hop a little bit more, right?
Right,
So
right.
based on what you like, may be different than what I like. So you may hear something in an artist that is the smallest thing that really draws you in, but it may not draw me in. You know what I mean? So if that's the case, then I can't really I don't want to concern myself with that because I found that this artist really does connect with me in a certain way. So I'm gonna go ahead and listen to their album and try to learn the nuances of that album.
I guess it's just not the world we live in anymore for like that particular thing because I don't know. I think realistically, just the streaming thing adds a different element to it where you're
Streaming
kind of
changed everything, dude.
because I mean I guess also you do have a larger influx of artists in the game now, and then so there's so much more to catch up with because the more artists you have, the more music you have. The worse 2018 has become. That's just my humble opinion. So,
you know, I think Ebro said that he asked the question if it was like 2018 was the best year in hip hop ever. And I almost wanted to like find a way to tell him hell no, like directly to him.
I don't know. I can find a way to.
Can you argue it? Yeah, probably.
Right.
I can't.
There has been a lot of very hard hitting releases though.
But better than some of the 90s hits? Like 94. 94. I mean, 94. Illmatic came out.
Okay. So then, how about this? Let me pose this question then. What is it going to take?
Maybe not, but I don't know. I honestly, we'd literally have to break them down.
I'm trying to pose a question though. Like, what is it going to take to beat those albums then?
Oh, I'm saying. I'd have to like.
Because I think you have to really take into consideration the last 2 decades.
I think it's really hard.
I think that we'd have to like literally break every year the albums that came out and like okay. This cancels this out. Yeah, it would take a minute.
You would have to.
You know what the problem is?
I would like to do that.
Look at your top 5 right now, right?
Huh?
So, back in like 94, 95, you had 5, 6 albums that came out that were like major releases that you're going to be paying attention to. So you had 5 or 6 albums to contend with. Now, you have 5 out of like 100 albums to contend with. So I wonder if like, and I'm not trying to knock him because Jay is my boy, top 1, and Nas for sure. But if Illmatic and Reasonable Doubt came out in 2018, is it getting the same notoriety? You know?
No,
because you have so many other albums out
it would not.
It probably wouldn't, but only because of like those albums came at a certain time, and they are. I struggle to say they wouldn't, but they probably wouldn't because of the climate that we're in.
I say they wouldn't.
I agree with that.
Not even necessarily because of the climate. I think it's because, to me, it's the social media aspect of it, right? So we have.
You can always blame it on that, though.
You can because you have 10
no,
different.
you cannot.
You have 10 different places to stream from.
That has as much like bad has come from that. There's a lot of good that has come from that.
But the advertisement has changed, right? So
but it's not
your label is promoting. Back in the day, when the label was the important part, you had them pushing one artist on you everywhere. They're on every radio station. They fucking music videos for all their shit. This is like their number 1 artist. Now you don't have that, so you don't really have like one center of advertisement. It's pretty much what you fall into or what your word of mouth is. So back then, you literally got an artist kind of pushed on you. You know?
I don't know.
I mean, obviously, it wasn't pushed on you. It was what the fans wanted. So if like they put something out that people responded to, then they're pushing it harder. But now it's not like that because you have so much music coming out. You don't have time to. And as an artist, you're probably like your wheels are constantly turning because you're trying to keep up with everything that's coming out. So that's why like Styles P, you put out 3 different projects.
4.
So like
4, right?
You can't even focus on that one album.
Yeah,
you can't tour that one album. You have to like start thinking about the next thing now. And back then it just wasn't like that. That one album was the thing for like the next 2 years probably, or 1 year that you put out, depending on what
album life was longer.
I can think of 2 or 3 albums that I know I'll be listening to for the next 5 to 10 years.
From this year?
That came out this year.
I mean, I don't think you can say that for sure.
I'll say there's probably tracks that I'll be listening to.
Some albums really just don't age well. You know what I mean? So, I mean, it sounds great now, and man, we would probably, there's albums that probably aged well that I'd be like, man, I didn't think they would do as well as they did like 10 years later in my, when I listened to them. And there's albums that I probably fucking loved 10 years ago, and if I listen to them now, I just think it would distort my memory of it. Like, I would hate it.
So I understand what you're saying. I just personally know that I'm going to go back to a lot of albums in the next 5 to 10 years that came out this year.
Do you feel like all of them will age?
Hip hop in a certain way at this moment in time.
Would you be shocked if they didn't age well when you went back to them?
Sure.
I'm just saying, like,
initial shock. Yeah.
No, I mean, like, because I'm just saying, like, because we get caught in the moment, right? So, like, I mean, I'm not saying like you are, but I mean, like, in general, like, there's music that like you listen to, you're like, man, this is great fucking music, you know, and you listen. Let's say you stop, you know, a song kind of fades out of your memory, you stop listening to it for a while, and then let's say you go back, you hear it again, you know, maybe beyond the first time you hear it, the nostalgia you get from it.
So I definitely see what you're saying. Yeah.
Is there a point like, oh man, you know what? It kind of did lose its flair. The musical sound did change a little bit sonically. You know, it's a little old for what we've listened to from that point. You know what I mean? Because music ages.
Right.
So you start hearing the trends start changing. So the next thing you know, by the time that you hear it again, it's kind of like, oh, my ears have adjusted to what this is now. So like, I don't really care too much for that. Only thing I really care for is the nostalgic aspect of it.
So that's happened with Quali and Common.
Oh, really?
For me.
What specifically, like?
Just
them in general?
The whole musical dynamic kind of just shifted.
Okay. So you can't, listening to them isn't the same as it was back in the day?
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would agree with that. I've never been the biggest Common fan, but I think
No, I have like
I was a big Quali fan.
Like, I'm never gonna not respect him and give him.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I respect
being one of the
respect
greats,
it.
you know. But
You know,
it's just like, you know, certain releases I get excited about, and it just doesn't turn out to be what I want it to be.
Yeah.
So
Do you
it
avoid
just
listening to him
wasn't
now?
for me. No, definitely not.
Like, and just to kind of like avoid being disappointed.
Definitely not.
Okay.
No, I always want to know what's going on.
Okay.
You know what element I think is lost in music now is back, like before the streaming thing happened, it was mostly just CDs and shit. And before that, cassettes, obviously. You listen to an album, and it kind of, if you listen to it now, it'll take you back to that time period and what you were doing, what year in high school you were in, you know, what kind of shit was happening in your life. Now, there's just so much that happens, like, I don't remember much about, like, albums that came out in 2017 or 2016, what I was doing, like, listening to that specific album. If I go back to 2002, 2003, 2004, whatever, like, I know specifically, like, what things were like at that point, you know, based off of that album that I go to. Right now, there's just so much going on, so many albums, so many artists that it's kind of hard to, like, I don't think in 10 years I'll, like, remember, you know, kind of where I was at.
Oh, I
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
that's how I usually kind of put that feeling together with albums. So.
Yeah, I don't know that there's much I would. Yeah, because like for instance, like there's times there's music that I'll listen to, like that, like, you know, pop up on shuffle, and it instantly take me back to like driving in a specific car down a specific street. You know what I mean? Like in the summer, like certain things. You know, they bring back a certain
You associate it
feeling
with
and vibe.
memories.
You know, and I think you're right. That's actually a really cool point because I don't think that we'll get that the same way as we used to because now we have music so readily available that it's, you know, it's almost like
I said, this year already.
and not that it cheapens it, but the
It does in a
experience cheapens. It's cheapened in another
It
sense.
does, because, like, I'm saying, shit that came out in January, I don't remember, like, specifically what came out this year, what came out last year, you know, like, they kind of jumbled together, there was so much. So, it's kind of hard to, like, pinpoint that.
I agree. Speaking of that, though, let me get to these at least so we can get to the top fives. Okay, so I'm gonna say I labeled this as that's gonna be a hard no on my list. I'm gonna start with a probably unpopular first, but I'm gonna say KOD. I revisited this album twice, man. I really wanted to like it, but I think you guys know my stance on J. Cole. I think what needs to happen is J. Cole needs to get out of his own way and maybe get some more different production and maybe a few features, you know.
Do you think you like have a bias towards him because he doesn't have any?
No, I just feel like he doesn't. He.
Great question.
No, there's no bias because I want J. Cole to succeed.
So
You
you're gonna go.
understand that it sounds like you have an extreme bias.
No, I think that this has just been my
just-
gripe for this has been my gripe for the last two albums though. Like I feel like
That's why I asked that. So, like,
not a bias.
You go
It's
into
not
the
a
album
bias. It's no, definitely
expecting
not.
to
Because
enjoy
that's why I revisited it. I was like, okay, maybe I didn't hear it right. I revisited it again. It just didn't hit me right.
I'm not trying to harp on you, but I'm just saying, like, you yourself said that you went back twice.
Yeah.
And you tried.
Yeah, because I don't like the way it sounds. Like I don't think he.
So then break that down.
I think when we, but for me, it's just too much J. Cole. Like,
It's not. It's too much. It's his own production. It's only him.
It is this man's album. Like,
I know, but it's not. It doesn't.
That is
in my
impressive.
opinion, it doesn't work
That is very impressive.
because I feel like I could do my own fucking album really if I wanted to try.
Yeah, but yours is not going to be as good as J. Cole's album, you know?
Well, if it's KOD,
Easily.
if it was KOD,
Yo, hold up. I'm not trying to get to like this big old discussion. But if you were to
I'm
make-
literally just
if you were to
joking.
make a 7-8 track album, you think that's gonna just smash KOD and just
Maybe if KOD.
my guy, my guy.
I'm
Go
just-
on.
Listen. I don't want to. All I'm saying is,
Don't give him that.
no.
shit.
You asked no.
Don't fucking give him that.
You
That shit
asked-
about to fall apart as hell. That's about to sell 2 wood. Like
Two
2
wood.
wooden albums.
You
I can't even sell it.
Don't even.
Like
You're
two
about to
wood.
whittle that shit. Like, nah.
Listen, regardless, you asked me the question. I feel like it's too much J. Cole. Not that J. Cole is not a talented artist. Not that J. Cole isn't a good producer. He's not a great producer. Be honest here. He could use some great beats. He doesn't always make great beats. Great beats.
Always right. Right, okay. Right.
So why not, when you feel like, I know you have this I can make it, I can do it, I don't need nobody else, but why not venture out? Why not get somebody?
Well, is he still signed to
Why
Roc
not get an Alchemist beat? Why not an Alchemist beat?
Of course, right.
Is he
Like,
still? Is he still signed to
There
Roc
are
Nation?
so many.
I think so.
There are so many producers that he could and should be working with.
He should, 2 or 3 tracks?
Sam,
No, I
this
get it.
man's going platinum.
You're asking. I don't care.
That's true.
I don't give
Without
a fuck.
anybody though.
I don't give a fuck what he went.
And it's also like not like on some like he went platinum, he's on top. It's like he went platinum by
Look,
himself.
I don't
And
get. Dave, I get
music
it.
is
I
like,
get it.
It's just
I get it.
soulful.
But I don't give a fuck that he went platinum. And
I
for
think-
my own
think-
ears, I think
I
J.
think-
Cole is regressing because he's not progressing in his own thoughts, trying to make his. How can I make my album better when why can't I venture out and accept others into my creative process? Why do I only have to be by myself? That is me stifling my own progression, right? So why not allow another producer into my process? Why not get a woman singer to come? Don't get a rapper if you feel intimidated.
Okay, alright.
If you don't want another rapper in your fucking because I don't know, what does it do to you? Why are you so fucking worried about that? That's fine. Get a woman singer. Get a chick. Get a dude singer. I don't give a fuck. But I don't need to hear you rapping on and then singing on the hook and then making up somebody that is you rapping with a different voice that we could all tell and then going back to you. Like it's the formula. It's too fucking monotonous. It's like boring at a certain point.
The only criticism I have of J. Cole is he's become much cockier in the game recently.
I don't mind the cockiness.
He's become more boisterous in the whole like I'm doing this shit on my own
Yeah.
type thing.
And
By
literally
all
on
means,
his
you
own,
should.
he goes away, comes back, gives music. Here I am. I'll do
I
the
get
thing.
that.
I'll dip out again.
I
In
get
2
that.
years, I'll come back. I don't need all that.
I
Listen,
heard that.
the album isn't that good for me to wait, motherfucker. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. Like that's the J. Cole, not you. But like,
No, of course.
you know what I'm saying? Like, so for me, that's my opinion. J. Cole needs to get out of his own way. The next one was gonna be Kamikaze because that's a terrible fucking album. When I get into why I think that's
I
terrible.
forgot about that shit until you brought that up just now. And now Sam.
Yeah, Kamikaze was terrible.
It was really bad.
We
was
went through the whole Eminem rabbit hole.
Gee,
I came out the other side and I ran away.
like no, but honestly though, like how did he release that album thinking like I'm on some shit right
I don't even understand how people. Though beyond that, release what you want.
I know why people got behind that because
they're
they're
fucking-
just hype beasts and they're just like this man's coming out with a new album, this and that.
Yeah.
I don't get it, man.
He's beef with fucking MGK. Who the fuck cares about MGK? First of all,
Well, Eminem helped a lot of people in their
Beef-
career.
Do you think that was a way for
beef
Eminem
with
to
Kendrick or some shit. I don't fucking know. Talk about how he's so good
be the beef?
Like-
The beef with MGK.
and how I'm fucking
Damn,
not
why
as
you
good
good?
as you anymore.
Here's a little my hypothesis, right? Maybe the beef with MGK was a way for Eminem to infiltrate a younger audience that maybe not had,
Of course,
right?
of course.
So,
I don't know
with
why
that-
MGK is irrelevant as
with
fuck.
that being the case,
he is not. But
He is.
he is not relevant at all.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's irrelevant.
he's got a following.
Yeah,
he's one of those
sure,
artists we were
sure.
speaking about that has a following.
not that there's a large one, but he has a specific following
does.
of group of like. I mean, it just is what it is.
So for him to be involved with the beef with them,
I'd probably be terrible at music.
for his camp then.
I'd probably be
Yeah.
terrible at
Always
music,
blow
but
up.
I'd probably have
Which they
somebody
have
follow
manager.
me. I'd have somebody
But
like my
nothing
music.
happened there.
No.
Like, in fact, MGK went on Twitter, whatever it was, Periscope, talking live about how Eminem's dissing me and like he's my legend or like he is a legend and like he's my favorite. This and that.
But then
It's
he had
like,
dissed him before that.
what the fuck is this beef about?
Listen,
Because, like, your rebuttal didn't come out yet, and you're about to drop some shit. But you're saying this shit now live on some, like, I fucking love this guy.
He's like, oh, this is an opportunity.
this ain't fucking rap beef anymore.
No.
Like, this ain't Nazi.
it's all we do is it's all
This
through
ain't
it's through
fucking-
Twitter now or
This ain't fucking comment
Snap
and Ice
Story.
Cube going at each other, you know?
You
Like,
gotta go social media with it. That's how you beef now.
and it was all over social media.
I say Carter 5, right?
That was trash.
But Carter 5 only because, not that it's bad music, it just is dated. It's dated music.
Disappointing effort.
It'd have been good.
So, no. Great point.
It would have been a good album
Great.
5 or 6 years ago.
But he recorded that music 5, 6
Yes,
years
yes.
But then
definitely.
you had
that's
5
why
or 6
that's
years
why
That
it's
shit
dated.
never dropped.
That's why
Right.
it's dated.
Because
You have
there
5 or
was
6
no-
albums to make, or years to make a new album.
Yeah.
Give me a new offering. Give me what
No. It is not that easy though. If you're within a contract with a label and they're expecting one album, and like Sam said, that album was done 6 years ago.
Well, right.
They want that album.
But he didn't drop this
now
album on
Lil
the
Wayne
label.
can't add more songs to that.
No. He didn't
It's
drop
just-
this album on the label. He's not on the label with
Alright, so
YMCA
right.
anymore.
So
now
right.
now he has Cat or Young Money, whatever, and it's just his. So they gave him the whole
But
chapter.
it's
So
still
take
part
another
of-
year.
So all of that is part of Interscope though. Like it's all one.
Right, but the reason why he
Thing.
couldn't get the album out was because of Baby. And
Baby
so
was dick.
now he had full
He is.
freedom to do whatever the fuck he wanted. Because how quick did it come out after he finally got what he wanted, right? So
There are two main stipulations there. Yeah.
so you already took 5 years. Work on it, like adjust.
I
Put some
feel
new shit
like
out now that you have control.
I feel like maybe Wayne.
I don't think
So-
Wayne raps like that anymore. man.
Exactly. Right. So, like, to cater to your point, or cater to it, maybe that whole, like, rebuttal album, or not rebuttal album, but rather that whole, like, album that would be more up to date didn't come out because Wayne just couldn't do it. And he had all his material already for one whole album, and he's just like, let me just add sprinkles here and there.
Yeah, because there are little
And then
things,
just
little
release it.
you could tell
There is
some current.
There is some new current shit
Yeah.
out there, though. As far as vocal,
I
like,
don't know, man, I
you
have a hard
know,
time giving him a compliment
vocal
like that.
presence go.
Yeah. But it's
I'm not
dated.
trying to. No, that was a horrible album.
Yeah.
And it should have been way better than what it was.
It's just dated, man. It's just dated.
But-
you take a time machine 6 years
But
back.
there is something underlying there, though. Like, there is something underneath that. Like, he just wasn't able to release that when it should have been released.
But there's got to be some good reason that he couldn't update the album
Maybe.
more. You know,
Maybe.
it was a lot
Hopefully
longer than
there is.
it was like 18 tracks. He didn't even have one with Drake on there.
There was
He
18
could have cut
tracks
it
on
down
that
to
too,
like
though. That is a lot of time.
he could have cut it down to like 11 tracks.
That's a lot of time.
Yeah, there
Brought
was.
Drake in
it's a
for
lot
a
of
song, and fucking
But he also knows that people want that from Wayne, though. People want that 18, 20 track,
yeah, but now it's
25
like
track.
shit. This is
you
like
know?
the worst album he put out. you
You're
know?
right. You're right.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, though, think about that, though.
Yeah.
No, you're right. I'm gonna finish this list.
Right.
First, the next one, I'm not even gonna like. I didn't even listen. I'm just gonna say fuck it because I didn't want to support him at all. I don't even want to go elaborate in it. Kanye, yay, fuck that shit. The last one pains me to say, but it is it's my favorite artist, favorite rap goat,
Oh man, nah.
Nas. That album disappointed the fuck out of me.
Already.
Yeah.
I really wanted that to be everything, man. Cause like Push came out before Nasir,
Yeah.
so it's like I thought Nasir was about to be that fucking crack
Shit,
rock.
Yeah,
fucking just-
like if Daytona was the
that's about
precursor.
to be that shit.
It should have been
Like,
better.
If
and this
Daytona was the
not.
precursor, or
Right,
like any indication of what was coming,
Right.
that was gonna be dope.
Exactly.
Completely flat. I didn't like it at all. I stopped.
agree.
I listened to it a few times, trying
Two
to really
tracks.
like it.
2 tracks.
I couldn't deal with it.
Bonjour, and that's not even all.
But dude, it's what 7 tracks.
and then Cop Shot the Kid.
It's 7 tracks, right?
Yeah.
I don't accept 2 out of 7 from Nas. Next.
Right.
So, but I don't even want to dwell on that. Nas do better.
Nas
Actually, he
is
did
500.
better. He did do better the next time he was featured on one of the albums that are my honorable mention on the new Swiss album.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my list of.
I know. Like that was mentioned.
No, that's just a mention. Like that album is pretty decent. But yeah, that's gonna be all the fuck those albums. I don't know. Do you want to speak about any of that, or do you want to go on to the next, which is the top 5?
I think we've gone through enough of that. Yeah, go into your top 5.
You want me to go directly into my top 5?
Yeah,
Okay, so my top 5, and I don't know if there's a specific order, but it's gonna consist of. So I my first the number 1. I'm gonna go from my first to the 5th, right? So my favorite album, just because it make it easy.
But
It was
in no particular order. No.
yeah, but the first one, right? The first one at least.
Yeah.
The first one was Victory Lap, right? Nipsey really did his thing. I enjoyed the fuck out of that album. It's great. But once Freddie Gibbs, Currency, and Alchemist released Fetty, that's like my favorite thing to listen to, honestly, from this whole year. It's a great album. Fucking 9 tracks, 25 fucking minutes, and it feels like longer, which is a kind of what we were talking about, a nod to Alchemist and how he produced that album and what he created there, because it feels like it's drawn out longer, but not in a bad way, in a really just great way, man. Like it was smooth sequencing and everything.
No, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I have nothing else to say. Like I had something on the comment, but I'm gonna talk about it during my section.
Okay,
so
yeah. But no, great album, right? Then we're gonna probably say Victory Lap. I feel like in terms of what I really care, like, and again, this is what my favorites were to listen to this year. I'm gonna are we separating R&B from rap?
I was gonna do a completely separate list, but I didn't even bother making one, so I just did.
So my R&B is gonna be honorable mention then. But next was gonna be Redemption from J Rock, because that was a dope ass album. That was dope.
It was a great offering.
That was sick, man. I enjoyed the fuck out of that album. J Rock is just a beast. You know, we were looking forward to what Schoolboy's got coming, because he's cooking some shit up, because he's been kind of out of the way. Yeah. He wasn't even on social media for a long time.
Yeah.
He's definitely the lab right now.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm gonna give my boy Freeway a spot in because I enjoyed the shit out of that album.
Late recognition too.
Think Free, right?
Huh?
Think Free.
Yeah, you gotta give people the flowers while you can still smell them, man. And
it's
Freeway being somebody, he's always been a fucking.
Say that phrase again.
You gotta give people the flowers while they can still smell them.
Say it louder.
Yeah, you gotta give people the flowers while they can still smell them, man.
I like that.
100%. But no, Freeway, he's that he's got some health things going on, but beyond that, he's still pushing strong, still performing. And this album, Think Free, I think it's called, is fucking really dope. Just dope. The way that Freeway raps, the cadences, the way he rides a beat is unlike what you hear others. Yeah, but the way he does that is different than anybody you ever heard, right? Like even from what was the name of that song? What We Do.
Right.
Like the way he raps on when the drums do like he raps along the drums. Like it's just such a
the snares.
The snares. I'm sorry. He it's unorthodox, but it ends up being really great. So I got to give him that spot. The next that would be 4. So I'm struggling with that last one. I really am. And I kind of want to give it to Joel Ortiz with Mona Lisa. I kind of want to give it to him. And I think I'm going to, based on just the fact that I enjoy when Joel really does get on his shit. And I was thinking of trying, and I may have forgotten something, man. And if I've forgotten the album, forgive me. But I like to think about things in a broader sense than just the music. You've provided me with like great music. I love the album. It was awesome. But beyond that, like Joel, you know, you want to see him win, you know, and with that, you don't want to see. I'm not going to give anybody anything for free.
Right.
If it was bad, he's not on that
Joel
list.
was always my favorite.
You know, so Joel is dope, and
Yeah.
he gets that last spot on the list probably. I do have some honorable mentions. One is Black, the East Atlanta love story.
Yeah.
Fucking tremendous album. Reason, right? Reason almost made the list beyond. I give him the sixth spot, right?
Yeah, I was listening to some
That's
Reason.
big for you too.
I'd give him the sixth spot in terms of albums I really enjoyed. I was listening to him earlier.
Yeah, me too.
And if I think of something, the next I will definitely
Update it.
update this list on the next one or on social media. But I will update it and you know admit what I've forgotten or what I was wrong about.
Which reminds me, last week we were talking about 8701, Usher having a song with P. Diddy.
Yeah.
And he does fucking have a song with P. Diddy.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? I just couldn't fucking remember.
I was trying to give you a manly handshake, dick.
Oh, no,
Me
I'm sorry.
too,
I'm not
actually.
about that.
You
I'm
just
just...
slap hands.
Sometimes
Yeah.
when you admit defeat, you gotta
Look,
shake your hands like a. Thank you.
lost,
I
but it's
appreciate it.
okay.
Thank you.
I appreciate
I
you.
appreciate you. Thank you.
Well, you know...
It's firm. This motherfucker.
Sorry, I'm just trying to look for what the name
Okay.
of this song is.
And I didn't put Scorpion anywhere. I'm gonna give it. I honestly don't even want to give it an honorable mention. It was an album that came out this year, and that's all I know about it. No, it was decent. It was decent, but I don't need
It
decent.
wasn't a bad album.
Decent is not what I'm looking for on my top, right?
It wasn't what
The
it was
Carter's
about.
album, Everything Is Love.
The Carters was good.
It was a good album too.
I actually forgot about that.
Wasn't my favorite,
I forgot about
but
that.
it was a good album.
Yeah.
I also have a gripe with anything Jay-Z because, well, he has none of his music on Spotify, and I don't have any way to listen to
feel you.
Jay-Z. So
It is
listen,
really a pain in the
you're
ass.
gonna throw this on here, but you won't put fucking at least fucking Reasonable Doubt.
Say it though.
Where's Volume 1 at? Can I
Say
get
it
some
with
Where
your
I'm From?
chest. Say it with your
Where's
chest.
Where I'm From? God damn it!
It's okay because I own all those albums, so I just throw it on my iTunes and then put it on my phone anyway. But I do that.
G-Host. I forgot. I wanted to put that out there.
Yeah.
G-Host was enjoyable.
Yeah.
G-Host was good because he put out Dime Bag. Or no, he put Nickelbag,
It was a
G-Host,
Nickelback.
Beloved, and then Dime Bag.
That was, you put Nickelback first?
Yeah. So that's the problem with, he put out 4, and I think we were talking about artists who try to keep up with the trends of putting out music after music after music. It just didn't work. You need to slow it down a little bit. But all of it was quality. Like, great music. I just think that, why oversaturate the market, Styles? I mean, I understand you probably had the music going out, whatever.
That's the most that we've ever gotten from Styles, and actually, I
Yes.
didn't have a problem with any of it.
Well,
No,
wasn't
it
that
was good
Styles and
music.
Davies too.
Yeah, the Beloved was the
So
third.
Beloved,
The
right.
Beloved came between G-Host and Dime Bag. And then the last one I'm going to say is Swiss Beats, because that's a pretty nice album, man.
Good
Yeah.
album.
Enjoyable. It's not even like, I'm not even mentioning it last for any specific reason other than it was the last
to
thing
be honest,
I read.
like when I heard he was making new music, I got excited. And
Yeah.
I was like,
I enjoy Swiss
want
Beats.
this.
Yeah.
Of course. Of
Oh,
course.
yeah. Come on,
I don't know. I still got my.
And then he like hit us with that, and I was like, all right,
I still got my
So
hate for
hype
Swiss.
always.
I'm down with it.
I still got my hate for Swiss because Alicia and whatnot. But anyway,
Yeah, anyway.
You
it's
can
another
go
story.
there.
But that-
Man,
yeah,
that
that's-
shit-
that's-
that shit way gone though. Like that's just.
I'm not gonna let go of that. 25
That's
years
just-
from now, that shit, I'm gonna be talking about how Swiss beats Alicia.
But yeah,
didn't steal nothing from
that's my list.
I say stole.
Okay. Anyway.
I say
No, I
stole.
just wanted to give
You know what I'm saying?
that's my
That's
list.
not what happened.
And Alicia's not coming to you, homie.
All right, so let me ask you a question. Two-part question.
She don't know your
She
name.
don't fucking know your name.
But like, why?
Baby, baby, baby.
Not yet.
She don't know
Shit,
your
okay.
Look, Swiss.
She
I'm
don't know
coming
your fucking name.
Coming for Unless you know, she don't know yet.
Okay.
I'm quitting. Anyway,
She don't
so
know
quick.
your name.
You done? Quick two-part question. Okay.
Hit it.
Do you have a favorite track this year, and is it on your number one album list?
Yeah.
That's a good question. It's like that.
My favorite track this year, honestly, is probably Victory Lap.
Okay.
Okay.
I enjoy that song
I hear
a
you.
lot.
I hear you.
Okay. I can ride with that.
And it checks the box of your first fucking track being a heater. You know what I mean? Like
Title
that-
track.
title track and first track. You two
To
two
me, the
birds,
title
one
track-
stone.
Yeah. Okay. I'm okay with that.
You know? So I'm gonna go ahead and say that. It may be a cop out because there's probably other ones that could be contested with it, but I think that was a solid track. Like it checked, and what it did on the album, right? Title track was dope. First track and intro was all bangers. So like that to me, you kind of, all those things combined make it probably my favorite.
Okay. Sounds good. So, top 5 is done. Dave, let's go to you next.
You want to go with me because I have 2 separate
What you mean you got 2 separate what?
categories. I got collaborative album of the year and then album of the year.
Collaborative and
And I
album?
got 5 for each. So I'm just saying. You
Oh.
want to go for yours?
Well, yeah, go for it.
All right. So I'll start with album of the year. Man, I just love talking about this shit. So it was. I'm gonna go from reference real quick.
So you're going back to reference what your number 1 album is? I feel like you shouldn't have to do that.
Definitely number 1. No, just everything. Okay, so I'll start at the bottom. It's West Side Gun. So West Side Gun, Supreme Blind Cell.
I actually do enjoy that album.
West Side Gun released 4 or 5 albums this year, 2018. This was just one that I thought really stuck out because he had 3 or 4 producers that he never really works with, and then he had Derringer and Alchemist kind of going head to head for the rest of the album.
Okay.
And Derringer is just like this understudy of Alchemist in a way. It's just like this dark, cryptic, like hard drum, really deep bass line type stuff, And then you got West Side Gun just spitting like this, just like New York slang type stuff, So
I went to it. I remember I listened to it a little bit after you brought it up, and
yeah.
it's another one of those albums I admittedly probably could revisit, and I think I'll enjoy it more than a revisit to COD. You get that?
Mm-hmm.
KOD.
Yeah, I hear you.
I thought that would have hit harder.
It's okay.
Can we try it again?
Regroup real quick.
Go ahead, man.
No, yeah. So yeah, Supreme Blind Cell. So he had Tyler, the creator, on one track. It was Sabu. And so we were kind of talking about it before we aired tonight, but I feel like you just understand and know and hear that it's Tyler because you hear like these zips and zaps from like laser guns throughout the whole song. Also, you get a lot of like abstract like talking scenes from random movies or TV shows.
Okay.
That's like his thing.
I like Tyler.
But you also got these snare hits that just like, I don't know if they just hit the right way.
Yeah.
The echo's perfect, like the reverb's perfect. So yeah, West Side Gun, Supreme Blind Cell, that's bottom of the list. That's like number 5 for me, I think. And I got Moses Rockwell. That's a little bit more, I guess, underground, a little more abstract.
Okay.
Just in the sense that his whole flow and cadence is just a little bit different from what's going on right now.
Okay.
In rap and hip hop. It's kind of like a nod to like that backpack era.
Something that breaks monotony a little bit.
Yeah, man.
Nothing wrong with that.
It's like worth listening to and like reading liner notes and like reading his lyrics and
Okay.
understanding it. I just think it's just like this, just perfect East Coast production, just boom bap, just heavy bass lines,
Yeah.
and his flow, his cadence, his content wordplay is just all there,
Okay.
and it just hits on every track, you know. So that's definitely like number 4 for
Okay.
me. Number 3 would have to be, I would say, and like I had a kind of a grudge here because like there's 2 albums that kind of budded for this spot. It's Evidence from Dilated Peoples.
Yeah.
He had a solo attempt. It's like his 3rd or 4th. Or Black Milk. Black Milk is from Detroit, Midwest section. But they're just 2 albums that were just really hard hitting.
Okay. And is that going to be 3 and 2, or is that
That's
between
number 3.
3 and 3?
That's number 3.
Like you couldn't tell.
And I'm gonna pick my favorite. But,
Okay.
So Evidence. It was called Whether or Not. His other moniker or like nickname or alias is the Weatherman. So Evidence just lost his wife to cancer
Oh, shit.
while he was touring for this album. The Whether or Not album before the album dropped.
Fuck.
So he was doing shows in LA because he's from LA. He's a West Coast cat. But he was doing shows there for like promoting it and whatnot. And, his wife had that condition, but they thought it was under control, but it got worse. And then he was supposed to come to Chicago about a month after the news came out about what's happening in his family life, and he canceled all those shows for about a good 2 months after that. She passed away in the summer this year, and he got a shorty, Vincent. Yeah.
That's crazy.
But so you get a lot of what was happening in his personal
Like emotion
life
and shit.
in that album.
Okay.
But he also tried to keep it in that same like Dilated Peoples, like I'm just a fucking spitter, I'm just So you had those real ass hip hop, bars and shit, but you also had this other personal side that no one ever really heard about from Evidence,
Yeah.
So and then you had Black Milk. So Black Milk, he's a producer / rapper / just executive producer. He does everything.
One of them J. Cole types.
Most definitely. Most definitely.
Tell him not to get his
I don't
own
know.
way.
I mean, I don't want to tell you what to listen to, but you might dig it. But I feel like this release was just like that release for this one artist. Like,
Okay.
It was like 14 tracks or maybe 12, but there was just like the samples that he took, the live band that he sampled and also incorporated within music was just like perfect. He just arranged the album perfectly, and it was his album.
Okay.
And then for him to just like rap about what he rapped about and talk about what he wanted to talk about, how he did, it was just like I want to listen to this so much more.
I guess.
So throughout the whole year, I would just go back to it and rediscover so much from that one album.
This is the first time I ever heard of him.
Yeah.
Black
Black
Milk.
Milk. He's been around for I want to say like good 10 years. Something
Really?
Like that. He started out with Slum Village after Jay Dilla passed.
Oh, okay.
So it was Black Milk. It was T3. There was like a whole camp behind them.
Yeah.
'Cause Jay Dilla was like the source.
Right.
And then by 10, who was another rapper from Slum Village, he passed away as well. So you had 2/3 of the core group gone,
Damn.
passed away.
So who gets your top spot between these two?
So yeah, I'm gonna say number 3 goes to,
Game time decision.
it is though. It is, yeah. I'm gonna say, Black Milk, and that's no disrespect to Evidence,
Right.
the Weatherman, because we all, like I just talked about, had a crazy year.
Right, and it shouldn't be. It's just objective.
But yeah, so right, this is just music, and it's just what I felt, personally.
Yeah,
So,
for sure.
Yeah.
Black Milk, yeah. The last 5 tracks on that album are just, it's Black Milk. The album's called Fever.
Okay.
Yeah.
it's just the last 5 tracks were just like this. He just puts you in this world, and you're just kind of like understanding what he's explaining to you as it unfolds. You know, and it's also like musically as well as lyrically.
Okay.
He's also like
Very
just like
important.
this impeccable writer and like lyricist. Like he just goes bar for bar.
Yeah.
He's gonna tell you what he's thinking about and like how you're supposed to look at it. You know.
So different than most of what's out. Right?
Yeah. The last 5 tracks just paints this whole picture, and it just kind of draws you in. So I feel like based on that, that's like a really big draw for me.
Yeah.
If you can put me in like another world, like I put my headphones on, right, and it's just like I'm just there then, you know, like nothing else is around me at that point. It's just what you're putting me into, you know. So I think he wins on that.
Okay.
Number 2, shit, man, this is a big one, yo. So okay, number 2 and number 1, I got 2 cats. It's Jermaine J. He's from Chicago, Illinois, and I got Earl Sweatshirt.
Okay. Oh, really?
Are they
I'm
interchangeable?
not sure. Right. I'm not sure
Where they play?
which one goes where. So I'm just gonna talk about both albums and whatever it is. It is Earl Sweatshirt. He lost his grandmother as well as his father. Very recently. In fact, right before he made this album. So he lost both of them. They were big, influences on his life, and he moved to South Africa for 4 months, and he visited his father's family after he passed. He wasn't too in touch with them
Okay.
because they're in Africa.
Right.
He grew up in L.A. So
Yeah,
it's
good.
like it's a crazy trip.
No, that's
travel.
nuts.
So he went there because he's just like, I gotta get out of this space I'm in.
Mm-hmm.
I want to understand who I am.
Yeah.
So he was there, and almost actually and literally, when he came back to LA from South Africa, he met up with Solange Knowles, Beyonce's sister,
Yeah.
and she has a whole band and collective that she works with as far as producers and musicians, and he was working with them, and he's like, you know what, I want to make some music again. So he recorded a single with this cat. His name is Denmark Vesey. He's from New York. And they found something. And Denmark Vesey produced 3 tracks off of Earl Sweatshirt's new album.
Oh shit.
Denmark Vesey's not known. Like, you guys don't know who the fuck that name is, right? So it's like, like no one knows. So, but he's just this dope ass cat. Like, he's just dope as fuck. Like, making these crazy fucking hip hop tracks, you know. And then he got Earl Sweatshirt got Knowledge, who is a big LA producer right now, who worked with Anderson .Paak on the No Worries collaboration. So Knowledge has 2 tracks on there, and then Earl Sweatshirt himself produced the rest of the album, I'm pretty sure. Like self-produced it.
That's
And
dope.
then he's the executive producer on the whole thing too. So yeah, he just like took the reins on this, and for me, I deal with, and like I talked with like very very briefly and very little. I deal with depression and anxiety and high anxiety. So Earl Sweatshirt kind of rose above all of that shit and was like, you know what, I'm done with all the voices in my head and all this shit. I'm gonna get shit done the way I want it to get done, you know. So he released this album, or put the whole album together, within the next, within like 6-7 months, something like that.
Yeah.
This small amount of time, and this man was just like, I'm gonna go in there and just do this, you know. So I have a certain appreciation for that.
I can get that. I can understand that.
So right. Then you have Jermaine J, who is my other pick, who I'm interchanging with Earl, because Jermaine J, he's from Chicago. He grew up listening to alternative punk rock. African American cat, black cat. I don't know, just thought I should mention that. Just as like you like
No,
bring up
which-
alternative and like
White
you're like,
kids
it's a white
alternative,
kid, like
Black kids
so-
rap. This is
right.
what the stereotype
So you
is.
have this African American kid, on the southwest side of Chicago listening to like Bad Brains and like, you know, Mustard Plug and like shit like that, you know.
Okay.
And then he started making music in 2010, 2011, and Stone's Throw, who's a big indie hip hop label, they heard him and they were like, yo, we gotta sign this kid. So he made an album with them. Then he went to two other very big labels that I'm blanking on right now. So he's having like this like big success story, basically. Like he came from nothing and he's just on top of his shit right now. And then he made the album Daffy, Daffi. Dude, it's just like, it's like I love abrasive music and abrasive production and like this in your face, like I'm right here with it and you're gonna fucking take it for this right here. Like I don't care how uncomfortable you are, this is what it is. That type shit, you know? Like he came out with that type of release and man, that shit hit for me.
Yeah.
Not only me, he sold very well this year.
Really?
And he made this crazy abstract music video to a song called Pain, Payne.
Okay.
And it's like, that shit's abrasive as fuck. It's just like, it's all pretty much like chalk drawn, and it's bursts of symbols and words or whatever on his face while he's rapping to you. It's just, I don't know, man. Yeah.
Sounds
Shit like
trippy,
that
man.
gets you know, or gets me
I get you.
personally.
And that's what we're talking about. Like everybody has a different
Personal
demo.
opinion?
Yeah,
Yeah,
like,
or
so
personal preference.
every artist has got a different cult following, and maybe everybody within that audience follows him for one specific different reason.
There you go.
But there's but they all find that common ground. You know what I mean?
There you go.
Yeah, I suppose.
What was and so that's your first, or you just don't know?
So I feel like him and Earl. So Jermaine J and Earl are both interchangeable for one
Okay.
and two.
Maybe 1A, 1B type thing.
1A, 1B.
Okay, that's fine.
And I guess so. Right. So there you go. If I had to enter or put someone else in that spot to fill, it would have been either Black Milk or Evidence then.
Okay.
For number 3.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay.
And what was the other list?
So yeah, collaborative artist.
Oh, okay.
Of the year.
All right.
So I had number 1, and this is like no dispute, like just straight. Like when it came out, I was like, that's it.
Yeah.
Black Thought 9th One.
That's what I was going to say.
Stream of Consciousness number 1 or Volume 1.
And
Excuse me.
Streams of Thought.
Streams of Thought Volume 1. It was just Ninth Wonder and Black Thought in a studio. In Ninth Studio, which is like that. Like you have to say that because like Ninth's catalog, like his music catalog, like albums that he chops up, is just it's like this room just full with albums though.
Yeah.
Like, so you got Ninth Wonder, who is almost a musical genius and just knows what that artist wants, and he's got Black Thought, probably one of the greatest lyricists known to man right now ever. And he just gave it to him. Like he gave him a good. It was 5 tracks, exactly 5 tracks, and he just gave him everything that Thought wanted, as well as everything the listener, myself, wanted.
Yeah.
As a head, like a Roots head, as well as a Ninth Wonder fan from like Little Brother back in the day, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was just boom back hip hop, just throwback.
Ain't nothing wrong with that shit.
Yeah.
Bar for bar, I'm gonna hit you with these dense ass rhymes. like the lyrics are so dense. Like you just have to go back and read it.
Yeah.
To understand.
Yeah, I
everything
get
that's
you.
going on. So I got that. I got Apollo Brown and Joel Ortiz.
Yeah.
That was perfect. I
Yeah.
feel.
Yeah, for
Front
sure.
to backer. Front to backer.
Oh, yeah.
Without a doubt. Joel said everything I wanted him to. or like, excuse me, he talked about everything I wanted him to.
No.
And then almost so much more.
Yeah.
Like, he gave you a lot of the behind the scenes shit that was going on behind the slaughterhouse thing.
Oh,
so,
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah, that was
And that's
big
always
for me.
interesting to hear.
Because
about.
that was probably one of my favorite duos of all time, hip hop wise, or not duos.
You mean,
excuse me,
groups?
Groups.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Slaughter was dope, but after that, the first album was dope, and then after that, they kind
Of
of
course.
it's dwindled. You know?
Right. But it's like that line when he's like, "It's crazy, I'm going out on tour." Well, so I'm
Won't be
paraphrasing.
won't be
Right.
no Joe, won't be no Royce, won't be no Crook, or something like that.
Right.
Like,
But he's like, "It's just me on my own."
yeah,
You know, on my own shit.
Yeah.
Like, it's the first time I've done it in a while now.
Yeah.
It's been 5 years,
He's
right?
been spitting for a minute too. I mean, Joel.
2 albums, 5 years. Like, yeah.
won't be no Crook, but we no Royce, won't be no Joe, something like that. Yeah.
Something like that, though. But
Yeah.
he's like,
no, that gave me chills. That line.
exactly that, though,
I like
right
that
there.
Yeah.
That line.
I was like, yo, he's actually giving us his heart right now.
yeah,
You know?
oh, 100%.
So right. So I think they definitely deserve whatever spot. It's on 1 through 5.
That shit is nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shit
Yeah.
is nice.
Yeah. I got Fetty.
Yep.
So, you got Alchemist, you got Freddie Gibbs, and you got Currency. So you got Alchemist, who's probably undeniably one of the greatest of all time, as far as producers go.
Oh yeah,
I'd
I'd agree with that.
You got Freddie Gibbs.
Freddie Gibbs, who I feel like, hopefully, I honestly didn't know much about Freddie Gibbs. I mean, I knew he's been around for a minute, so like I knew his older stuff, but like I hadn't heard anything for a while until just recently, like within the last year or so. And Freddie is just something else, man. Freddie's something else. His voice is I don't know. I like it. I like it a lot.
As soon as you hear Freddie Gibbs, you know it's him. You know it's Freddie
instantly.
Gibbs, and then you also know that you're about to get some shit.
Oh yeah.
Because like he's not gonna bullshit you.
Nah, not at all.
That man's all about product. Like
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
whether it's whatever it is though, whether it's music or otherwise.
Yeah.
That man's
Hell
about
yeah.
product though.
Yeah. And then the currency shit, like,
And then you got Currency.
yo,
Like,
currency's so dope. Currency's he
I
just
feel
talks
like-
that fly
I feel
shit,
like-
man.
I feel like somehow either Freddie Gibbs or Alchemist separately heard Currency, just like listening back, maybe like while smoking or whatever it is, and just like, man, I gotta work with this guy, and like sent him a text,
It's probably the
and
truth.
like Fetty fucking happened, like
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Yo,
Like
it's a dope
no
album.
one ever gave Currency that feature or that full length feature as
Yeah.
far as a producer goes. Like, yo, I wanted you to put an album out with me.
No, it was dope. He
Yeah.
I like when he talks his car shit.
Of course.
Of course, right? Like for
Of
me.
course you. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. But like, it's real. If you're not a car person, you won't get. some of what
No,
he's
a lot
talking
of it's
about.
a little over your head.
He actually talks about a lot of car shit though.
A lot.
Like
of
you
car
just said it obviously, but I'm gonna say it again. Like he talks about a lot of
Oh,
car shit that people don't really know about.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Like that under the hood type shit.
Yeah.
Like what's beneath the car type
Yeah.
shit. Like, but he's got slang for it. That you know what he's talking about if you're a metalhead, car
Yeah.
head, you know, like, so, right. And then you got Freddie Gibbs, who's old school. I like, you know, big bodies, this and that. So he's already a car head.
Oh, yeah.
Or, you know,
Yeah.
so, right. It's just, I feel like something happened where there was just right time, right moment type thing. Where it's like, this has to happen right now. Or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, Fetty was just perfect.
No, I agree. I agree.
Perfect. Front to back or...
That was your number one?
No. Black Thought Knife.
Oh yeah. That's right.
Yeah. But fuck it, yeah, I'll say Fetty's number 2.
Okay.
Without a doubt. And in fact, it's a very close number 1, number 2.
I got you. No, I agree. That I love that album, man. I love it.
Yeah.
I'll probably listen to it tomorrow morning. You know what I mean?
Let's get the cheat sheet out real quick. Oh, wow.
Real melodic lie.
I got. So this is collaborative album of the year on my part because I'm the only guy doing this right now. So I put Pusha T in this category. And we talked about this a little bit. So, I feel like it was a collaborative album because Kanye West was attached to it.
Did I say Daytona?
I don't think you mentioned that.
Yeah, you
Did you? Okay, you did. Okay. This man. So yeah, right.
Whoa.
I'm putting this under collaborative because you have Kanye West attached to it, and I feel like if you have Kanye West attached to a project, it's already his project.
I feel you. I kind of don't see it.
But there's a huge but, because when you listen to the album as a whole, you only listen to Push. You only hear Push. Kanye.
The beats are Kanye, but that's
Kanye is only then background music.
But see, that's
Almost literally.
That's where I have a hard time with the separation, because
So
to me, if it's one artist
I get
spinning the
that.
whole time, like if Kanye was
I get
spinning on
that.
every track,
I get that.
then I would call it collaborative with that, you know. But I mean,
yeah. I would call it more the Pusha album. Only if Kanye was on half or more of the songs, then I'd say collaborative.
So Kanye was on a lot of the songs though. Out of 7, he was on 3, which I think is a lot.
Yeah.
You should only be on 1.
That may be true. I hate he was on.
Maybe a chorus for the second song.
this is why I didn't put together like a collab album.
Yeah,
like
it's a
all
little
those-
sticky.
It does.
Like all the collab albums for the most part today, this year were like, I mean, there's obviously some that weren't like this, but there's a lot of like producer artist connections.
But so, when you heard that first track come on for Daytona, pulling up in that dude's toy,
Yeah.
right there, you heard like a little fucking clink in the background.
Like the
You're
unorthodox
just like,
Pusha
what
T
is
beats.
about to fucking happen right now to my eardrums?
I was super excited to hear that
I
album.
was, and then I played the whole shit out through the whole thing, and it was just, it's what I wanted.
10
to
minutes
be.
long, but it was good.
True.
Yeah.
So that's your collaborative of the year.
So that is number 3. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head, but I can't.
Number 4, no? You have Joel.
So number
Ortiz as well.
4, I got Homeboy Sandman and Edon. This is more underground. This is Stone's Throw. So Homeboy Sandman, East Coast. Edon is West Coast, if I'm not mistaken. And if I'm mistaken, he's probably watching this on January 1st, and he's like, "No, you're fucking wrong. You're whack ass cat. You're fucking out of here." And spray paint my face or some shit. He's super hip hop, but in the best way. Edon, Homeboy Sandman, East Coast rapper. He's just real kind of laid back flow, ba-da-da, ba-da-da, ba-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da. But it's just some funny shit, or some shit that you'll actually think about and be like, oh, it's just so simply brought to you, you know. So the whole album is just Homeboy Sandman just kind of just fucking shitting on the whole album, I'm fucking giving you all this, fuck that, I got fucking 6 tracks, whatever it is, 5 or 6 tracks. He's just I'm about to give you all this shit, you know. You get this buffet, you know. You got Edon on the production as well as the cuts, because he's also a DJ.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing DJ, but he's also rapping on the album, so it's this rap duo kind of. It's just so much fun for me, as a backpacker underground hip hop head. It was the most unexpected duo, but the most expected duo after listening to it.
Understood.
You know?
Understood.
It's damn, this makes so much sense.
Like,
why
we
haven't
weren't
they
doing this
made
before.
more shit after,
Yeah.
or whatever it is? Yeah. So, Homeboy Sandman and Edon, and I want to get the album name correct. It's Humble Pie. The name of the album is Humble Pie.
Okay.
Homeboy Sandman and Edon. The album is called Humble Pie.
Okay.
That's number 4. Number 5.
Listen,
And
don't you have 5 now?
Yeah, so it's
So
top
it's
5.
Black Thought. Yeah, no.
So
you
I
have
got
Black Thought.
Black
Daytona.
Thought, Daytona, Apollo,
Mm-hmm.
Homeboy Sandman, and Push. Oh, that's 5, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. We're good.
So do you have a favorite song this year?
Favorite song? Man, it's gotta be If You Know, You Know.
Okay.
Okay.
Fuck with that.
Yeah, there's no or. That shit is just so hard to me, man. Like when that beat comes in, finally with like that bam bam, like that sample, yo, it's I just lose my shit, yo.
I don't blame you.
Just head
it's a good
swinging, hair
choice.
everywhere, just like
It's a good choice.
man. That shit got me so hyped all year though. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's good for sure. All right. I'm just gonna start off from the top here. For top 5. I've been saying this all year. Book of Ryan is my number 1.
No surprise there.
I knew
Yeah,
it.
it's.
And that's something I probably should have mentioned.
Me
but
too.
Where's this thing on that album? Replay value was something I always go back to.
Are you ready? Oh shit! I got somebody. Go ahead though. Fuck it. It's over. Damn. That was like. Okay, go ahead.
I actually put Mona Lisa at my number 2 spot.
Okay.
Good man.
So Slaughterhouse,
the
what was
building.
Slaughterhouse made the first 2
In the building.
cuts.
For real, man.
And again, me and Dave have different variations of what we think a collaborative album is. So I put Streams of Thought as number 3.
Got you. Good man. You listen to it though?
Yeah, that's another album.
Volume 1 or Volume 2?
Volume 2.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Damn, that's big then.
Yeah, I really fucked with that album. So, not too much to really go into about it. I mean, you pretty much covered what we needed to as far as that goes. Victory Lap is number 4.
Okay.
I respect that.
Did you tell me that you didn't have it in there before? Or was that Dave?
Well, that was me, but I'm not sure if you had that as well. Or didn't have
I don't think I started thinking about rounding out the top 5 just yet. When we were.
Because I was pretty early
Okay.
on. Well, both of
Okay.
us were.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that album is really good.
It's a great album, man. And he's got a documentary, actually, I had seen it's coming out about Victory Lap, so I'm looking forward to seeing
Actually, not to overshadow your, but it's, Nip has one coming out, but Spino has a black tape one coming out.
that. Really?
It's like the noir
Okay.
black tape.
I have to check that out.
But it's like a
Yeah.
tour album though, or a
Yeah.
tour video rather.
Okay.
Alright. And then for my 5th, I put J-Rod.
Redemption, okay.
So,
Damn, I forgot about Redemption.
Redemption's dope.
there's honestly,
Which I guess that means something.
there's honestly a
If
shit.
you
me.
forgot about
For me.
it, it
For me.
wasn't something that you cared enough about.
For me.
There's honestly a shit ton of albums that I was fighting between.
Damn,
I have-
J-Rock's a good one though.
I have a bunch of fucking honorable mentions on here.
Ooh, and Reason.
So
Like a Reason.
So I had Daytona at number 6. I had Vinny Paz. Put Lost Tapes by Ghostface. Thought that was solid.
Yeah.
I honestly
I didn't
didn't
listen
even
to
listen
it
to that.
like too many times. Like I heard it all the way through twice.
Yeah.
And that was it.
I really
So
liked it.
like I should have listened to it more.
Yeah.
'Cause, I mean, Ghost Dini, you know.
Absolutely. And I had Dime Trap T.I. I thought that was really
Damn.
good.
Oh, that was a good
mention.
album.
Good mention.
That's a good mention for sure.
Yeah.
And then one that I just kind of stumbled across, Locksmith, put out an album called Ali.
You
That
told
was
me
really
about
good,
that.
just
You
straight
put me on that.
spitter,
Yeah, that
just-
dude was real.
And then I put Lunch Meat, Alchemist.
Okay, yeah.
Just a couple of, whatever, honorable mentions on
Yeah,
here that I
yeah.
thought had good efforts this year.
I totally forgot about lunch.
No, you
though.
covered it good because I mean I
really did,
yeah.
JID,
Man,
Sky Zoo,
of course.
Styles P,
Sky Zoo.
Dimebag,
Yeah.
Prime 2, Jamla, Familia.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah, I mean,
Damn,
there's,
bro.
A couple
thank you.
honorable mentions.
Thank you.
Yeah.
there's a few,
Thank
like, I had to go back and take a look
You
and
covered a
kind
lot
of,
of that, man.
kind of recover in my mind what came out.
Especially JID.
Yeah.
That was a big release, man.
Yeah.
And I think we should all listen to that.
Absolutely.
Further.
There's a lot of good offerings, and unfortunately, some things kind of get lost in the crowd, and that's another product of the streaming thing that we're doing right now. But
What was your favorite?
Yeah, she had a
Sure.
pick, yeah.
Or was that the end of your honorable mentions?
yeah.
Oh, okay, got you.
So, just because it was my summer anthem, and that just kind of sticks with me. Amazing, Book of Ryan.
Okay.
That's a good mention.
Okay.
It's a song I really enjoyed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that.
And then that's just me, of course, just my favorite.
No, it's personal preference. Whatever you
I
want to
respect
listen
that.
to. Yeah.
Yeah.
One.
And then there's just a couple other little things I want to hit real fast. Top artist of the year. I want to give it Styles, man, because he put a lot of work in this year.
He was grinding.
In hip hop, nobody
somebody
worked.
who's on the grind.
He put out 4 projects that were consistently good. I didn't like Beloved. Beyond, to
I
be
had
honest
some
with you.
things that I liked about it.
There
some
were,
that I didn't
yeah,
like.
right. There were a few good things about it.
It was nice to
I
see him
tried.
pop up so much this year, you know.
Yeah.
Repping for the Locks, you know, all that, because those.
Yeah, or maybe just entitled that, you know, comeback season. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
I guess.
something like that.
It's
'Cause
just somebody I want to give props to for their work that they put in.
I'm with you.
And then I was having a hard time with this other one, but I think Alchemist is going to take producer of the year for me.
Yeah, I mean, off Fetty, I would probably agree with you.
He's not somebody who's going to be considered highly, like to the masses when you do Grammys or whatever. But I think
No,
Alchemist is
I'd
somebody
probably,
who kinda
I'd say
put a stamp on the year.
it's a good choice.
So yeah, that's what I have.
Is that all we have?
I think so. I think that pretty much rounds it out.
Yeah.
Well, excuse me, and I apologize for cutting you off. None of us gave an honorable mention or a mention to Mac Miller for swimming.
No, and I didn't listen to it.
Oh, I did.
I listened to it. He just
that
wasn't my
was-
band of music before, so somebody like he put out an album. I acknowledged it,
She
but
got
like
the same way.
it just can't be
I'm the
top
same
five.
way.
Top, you
I'm
know.
the same way. But there's there is a but. Content alone, he was telling us he was going to kill himself on that whole album, and that was just his way of saying either you're going to save you or not.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep on going down this path though.
Yeah.
But so with that, he had Thundercat, who is one of the biggest names in jazz bass as well as hip hop production right now.
Yeah.
As far as the indie scene goes, obviously. And Thundercat worked on the whole album with Mac Miller.
Yeah.
Mac Miller was a keyboardist, was a keyboardist, a drummer. He arranged beats on his own. He created samples on his own. He was just very much invested in music,
Yeah.
and I feel like that really shined in swimming.
No, and I've heard that it was good. I mean, like I said, I didn't listen
the
to
lyrics
it.
alone too were just like he really went for like he just I don't know, man. It was just a really good release,
Yeah.
and like that was interchangeable for my top 5 album of the year. Like that beat out Nip and Reason. No offense to your picks,
No.
or to them as an artist. It was just he just really made something special there,
Yeah.
and it sucks that's his only. Like his last release, basically.
Yeah, I think you know, I didn't listen to it, but I do want to say, like, beyond all this, just like you know, rest in peace to all the artists we've lost, you know, throughout this last year. You know, everybody in general, but like, you know, we're speaking about hip hop, so all the artists we've lost.
Very true.
You know, rest
Very
in
true.
peace.
Yeah,
Rest
for
in
sure.
peace.
You know,
It's been a tough year as well as it's been a great year for sure.
Yeah.
So
True.
I want to say before we forget, why not have a little call to action for our viewers? Why don't you go ahead in the comments below, let us know
Oh yeah.
what
That'd be
your
really
top
cool.
5s are, your
That'd be
honorable
really cool.
mentions, your
Yeah.
favorite songs, your favorite artists.
I like.
Let
that.
us know what it is.
I
I like
gonna
that.
say this for sure.
You
Because
know,
I am interested, or well, we are interested
yeah.
to know, so yeah.
yeah, drop it in the comments below. You know,
Yeah, do you
let
have
us
any,
know what's up.
Any agreements, disagreements, anything you want to fight about, you know, go ahead and drop it down in there.
Hell
We
yeah.
talk about it. This is always a discussion we're always up to have. So, you know, there's a reason why we're doing a music podcast. So
That's right.
feel free, please leave your comments. Let us know what you think. For format ideas, if you have anything different that you'd rather see, just suggest, you know, whatever.
Let us know.
I would say we're gonna do a sneakers thing today, but as you
I
might
got
be able to tell,
I got white socks on.
as you might be able to tell, these dudes are in socks.
You know.
Look, I got this whole plush little throw rug that you guys can't see it, but
If we
it
could all-
feels good on my feet.
If we could all just appreciate the new upgrade that Sam.
Yeah, I mean you
Yeah,
can't see
bro.
all of it, but there's some upgrades in here
Some serious upgrades.
for us, for our comfort. You know, Not for your viewership pleasure.
But yeah, no, that's why I got
Socks
the shoes.
and whatnot, but
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
whatever.
Well, I got these little Hirachis that I purchased.
A little less, you know.
Little
Little clean
comfortable
ass
shoe.
little Hirachis.
I definitely enjoy it. You know,
I see.
it's
I
real. It's
see.
really comfortable.
See.
So, I guess that'll be the only sneaker
Those
discussion
are,
for the
those,
day.
are, those are pretty dope, though.
There's still like a few other top things that I would love to do, but you might just get it in some other variants,
In a
not a
different
podcast.
format.
So we
Yeah.
actually have to start doing that next
Yeah,
next
definitely.
year.
Yeah.
I think for sure.
I was gonna say next season.
Next
So, once again, Happy New Year to everybody out
Happy
there.
New Year.
Please go ahead, like, subscribe, and share the video if you please. I suppose you don't really have to. Shout out to everybody who we have gained in the subscriber field.
Yep.
Anybody we lost, fuck you. We can't see this anyways.
Damn!
Just saying, I mean.
They
you can't see
unsubscribed. It is.
it. Hey, it is what it is.
I mean, for the one time.
Right.
You know?
So follow us all on social media.
Please do.
We all have individual Instagram accounts. We will drop those links in the description of this video. Other than that, we will see y'all next week.
Peace.
Peace.
Peace.